Not the Chuddle.
Chuddle. Surprise.
I have a real soft spot for evil.
Blood flying everywhere.
So good.
I'm a big boy who doesn't get scared.
Out of the mist and into the fog, it's Chuddle the Pod.
Surprise, I'm hosting it.
Sup? Oh, this guy. Welcome to Chuddle the Pod, the horror movie club where horror movie lovers have a feel-goo time. We always keep it... Excuse me. We always keep it spoiler-free up top, and we'll let you know when they happen, and listen or don't listen. In this case, I encourage you not to listen. Once we get to that, the spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it. But anyway, that's because we're going to chuddle Lowlifes. And I'm not chuddling Lowlifes by myself. We got Bry Guy, the guy Bry.
Huh.
And fresh out of Jennifer Tilly's basement, we got the Roosticle.
He made it.
Oh, hey! God, I'm so glad I made it out of here.
Lucky guy.
That recorded all properly. If we sound like we're weird talking to Ross, it's because his internet's being a little funky tonight. So, but on his end, the recording's going to sound fine, but we may sound like idiots. More so than normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's probably going to come out with a banger like comedy, and we're all going to be like, a banger comedy.
Banger comedy. We usually have a baseline of idiocy, but since I'm literally on like a jump pack because my internet's out, like it might get a little wacky.
Well, we are not alone tonight. For tonight,
We're not?
we welcome the creatures of the swamp and the donks of the bonk.
We bonking swamp donks. Yeah, we are the Lowlifes. Thank you.
That's us.
Oh, yeah. We had to invite a couple Lowlifes on for the show tonight. We got T-Boo and Ricky from the nightclub.
Hell yeah.
Nightclub in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
God they don't. Thank you for having us back on that Chuddle the Pod podcast horror movie club.
I wasn't sure we were welcome back.
Man, we the best
I wasn't
friends.
sure either.
We the best friends of the
What
Chuddle.
did you do last time?
I don't know.
Did I forget?
Probably said something
we put it
really
to a
dumb.
vote.
Brian edited it all out.
Oh.
Yeah. We put it to a vote, but then nobody showed up to the vote, so we just said yeah.
Yay!
Democratic process
Yes.
in work.
Well, we couldn't be happier to have y'all back. I gotta make sure to keep the nightclub going strong on the Chuddle the Pod. But before we continue, I must take this moment to thank our coven of patrons, and of course, our newest patron who's been due for a witch name.
Oh,
Yes,
snap.
it's been brewing
Would
for a
that
long
be-
time.
Yeah, with that being said, I'd like to welcome Hard Body Scotty, the cat witch of Sloppy Toppy, to the
Welcome, my boy. Welcome.
Wow.
Hard body, Scotty.
I didn't. Yeah, that was okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Hard Body
The
Scotty.
witch of
Cat
witch
witch,
of
bro.
sloppy toppy.
The cat witch.
Yeah,
Sloppy
the
cat.
cat witch.
Witch of
Sloppy
sloppy
toppy.
toppy.
Sloppy
Nice.
toppy.
Yes. Got cat witches up in
Your
here.
Your sacrifice gives us life, and we thank your beautiful souls.
Thank you.
With all club members present and accounted for, it is time to crack open the goo book and begin tonight's meeting.
Give me that goo. Oh, yeah.
Let's
Thank you.
do
Thank
some
you.
lines. Starting with the log line. We have the survival instincts of a road-tripping family are put to the test when they have no other choice but to stay the night at a remote homestead.
They have another choice.
Well, that's good.
But I mean, yeah.
I mean, for what you need to know going into this one,
That's
works.
pretty
Sure.
perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's get to our taglines.
Tag me,
Zilch,
baby.
Zippo don't have any taglines. There's nothing on
Ooh.
any of the posters I looked at. There's not one on IMDb. I can't find one anywhere. So
That's
Maybe the tagline is to be original.
Yeah.
Tubi original. That's how Tubi does it, baby. They don't even need taglines.
Raw as
You're
fuck.
getting it for free, so we're not. Yeah,
I was
Go
gonna
watch
say
it.
when you can't take the high road, become a low life. Something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Ooh,
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would have said something like you gotta eat with your family or whatever.
Whatever. Yeah,
A family that
eats
eats
together.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
slaves
exactly.
together.
And
So,
breeds
I don't know.
together. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All that. All right. Movies are made by people. The people that made this movie are, well, it was written by Al Kaplan and directed by Tesh Gudakanda and Mitch Oliver.
Yeah. Tesh is familiar to us over here.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Tesh
do you
wrote-
know the name? Familiar with it, Ross? He's like, no,
what?
no.
Wrote a movie that
What
we
happened?
covered.
No.
Yeah. Tesh
Wrote
co-wrote
Influencer.
Influencer.
Yes,
with
yes,
Curtis
Influencer.
David
With
Harbour.
Curtis
Yeah.
David Harbour. Yes. And Al Kaplan, the writer, wrote the Clown Cafe for Terrifier 2.
Nice.
That's
The
dope.
song?
Oh.
They got some
Yeah.
Louisiana ass sounding names, bro. Tesh and Kaplan. Like, for real.
That's some towns over here. And bayous.
Up next, we have Bodehonf Chifeto playing Amy.
Okay.
I don't know. I was trying to come up with a Cajun sounding
It's-
name. We
I was
have
like, what
Amanda
the fuck
Fix.
are you talking
It worked
about?
for me, yeah. I was with it. I was like, hell,
I
Did we
do not
get- did we
see
get
that.
you?
I'm looking at the cast right now and I'm like,
hell yeah, it's bullshit.
Who was that?
Toe. You damn right.
all right.
Am I looking at the wrong movie?
Right. We watch a different Lowlifes. I think I watched that Midlifes movie.
Oh.
Midlife.
Oh,
We made
No,
a
it's the
joke.
High Life.
When we all pick our movies, we all send each other movie posters, and Sam sent us this one. So then Ross did a joke by sending his poster was High Life's some movie. Then I found I think a Midlife's or something.
Midlife.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
It was the full
We were
circle.
going to cover the whole life cycle.
Mm-hmm. So look forward to those coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're changing everything.
All right, we have Amanda Fix as Amy, Matthew McCall as Keith, Brenna Llewellyn as Savannah, Elise Levesque as Kathleen, Josh Zaharia as Jeffrey, Cassandra Sawtell as Julie Ann, Richard Harmon as Vern, Kevin McNulty as Neville, who is Pa, Ben Sullivan as Billy, Dele Nelson as Big Mac, and Alexander Calvert as Deputy White. Didn't really know anybody. I think the cast is great. They all do a good job.
I recognize the dad, and I'm
Yeah.
looking at his IMDb now. You
Yeah,
know why I
yeah.
recognize him? Because I
Monarch,
watched
right?
Monarch.
Oh, wow. He was in Monarch.
It's got Godzilla in it, right?
Hell yeah, man. Best one.
Is Godzilla in there?
Dude, if
Oh, man,
if
it's got,
Godzilla
like,
would have
all-
been the
Oh, that's-
dad in this movie,
Well, no, he's Big Mac.
Well, it is Godzilla. That is the dad. Is Godzilla? Oh,
He
heavy
plays
prosthetics.
Godzilla in Monarch. Cool.
hell yeah,
Yeah, he
no
plays
idea.
Godzilla in Monarch. It's
They
wild.
go
dude.
back to the rubber suit thing.
It's fun.
no, well, we are.
but yeah,
the deputy was on Supernatural. He was Jack in like the later seasons.
interesting.
The dad,
Son of the,
the
devil.
dad reminded me of Jim Cummings. Is who the dad reminded me of.
Yeah, I know the name. I
that
can't place
doesn't-
it right now.
Yeah, exactly. I can't immediately.
Well, with
picture
the
who
with the
that
Seed of
is.
Chucky episode, I thought y'all know everything about all the Cummings.
yeah.
We slipped
Wolf of
right into
Snow
that one.
Hollow, and he was recently in Last Stop in Yuma County. Haven't seen it. Check that movie out. But yeah, Jim Cummings is dope. That's who the dad reminded me of. He has a similar face and even acting sort of style, but the dad in this movie was
Oh.
phenomenal.
Not this Jim Cummings I'm looking at. I know who you're talking about now.
Oh, is that the second Cummings?
It might be the second coming.
man. Got
God
it.
bless the children's.
Speaking of the children, it's time to see if they're full of gore because it's time for.
Hell yeah.
Fatality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Psycho to the Sadness, how gory is this film? 1 to 5 consistency, 1 to 5 intensity. Put them together, tell me what we got. Ross, what do you think?
It just lags so bad. Are we doing gore?
Yes.
Okay, we're doing gore. Great. All right. Let's go with I'm not even going to break it down. I probably say maybe like a 6, 6.5. I mean, like you get some good good goo, and then once it's there, it's kind of consistent. It's not over the top. I mean, you get limbs, you get dismemberment, you get some brain matter, you get some. I mean, there is one or two that are pretty spicy. So yeah, I would probably say maybe like I give it like maybe a 6, maybe knocking it a 6.5, but no, I wouldn't go crazier than that. What about you?
I'm
guys?
higher than you. That's a first.
Ooh.
but it's because I have a 3.5 on each. Because I think it's pretty consistent. I mean, it starts with a kill and you get kills throughout, and some of them are pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that gets
I'm
me
right there with you. I would give it like a full 7, like so 3.5 would be where I'd go with that.
I'm close, about 6.5. Where
I'm gonna give it a 6.75.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm just averaging it because I kind of agree with all of you right there, and I think that's sitting right.
Yeah.
6.5 or 7.
Nice little sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet spot of gore.
Well, what's the next part that we do?
Who is the horror forward?
Got a few questions here, including that new one. But let's start with where we start. The subgenres. What does it fall into?
Home invasion.
It's kind of home invasion-y. Yeah.
It's kind of home invasion.
Sam's favorite.
Kind of slashery.
Is it home invasion if they got invited in like a vamp? It's a vampire movie.
They invade their homes. They invade their personal space in a way that the family wasn't expecting. I'd say that counts as home invasion.
I'm leaning on vampire based on what we're going to get into once the spoiler drops. But yeah, you got invited in, and yeah, it's a vampire slasher.
It's a.
It's I mean, I would put this into, if there's nods of it throughout the entire thing, the cannibal subgenre for sure.
Mm-hmm. Sophisticated cannibal subgenre.
Sophisticated,
elevated, raise your pinky cannibal.
Probably family fright fair. It deals with an entire family, so
cannibal.
like it's kind of
comedy horror.
Both.
Also,
I didn't think of them as that sophisticated.
humor.
I'd say more like
both
nuclear
sophisticated.
family cannibal.
Yeah.
this
Like,
is
all in the
compared to like a redneck. Well, I don't.
A redneck cannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
All
trying
in
not
the
to.
family.
like
all
this
in the
movie has
family
some
horror.
good family.
I'm also trying not to give away.
It's
anything.
family values horror is what we're dealing with here. Good strong family values horror movie.
There
Yeah.
you go.
But kind of like
There's a lot of that in there.
but more of like the Core and Limp Bizkit tour.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Tour.
Hell
That
yeah,
kind of-
dude.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah!
there we
God,
go.
I wanted to go to that so bad.
I
disappointing.
did years ago.
I did not. I was too cool for it back then.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd be
wasn't it in like
I'd be
99?
I went to the
It
one
probably
in
would have been like
07.
Okay, yeah. I wanted.
Oh, I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
would have been
No.
beyond it by then.
No. I wanted to go to the 99 one, but I wasn't
you
old
talking
enough.
about the
Yeah.
real.
Mom wouldn't send me with my sister like I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that one, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the right decision for like a 12-year-old not to go to that.
I was mad as
Definitely.
Me too.
Yeah.
I wanted to go so bad.
I bet you wanted to break stuff.
yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
break my
Right?
parents.
Isn't that a Limp Bizkit
Dude,
song?
when
TV or
he
something
found
after
out he
that,
couldn't
yeah.
go, he was like, "It's just one of those days." He's so
Yeah.
fucking shit up.
And I would have got to kiss Fred Durst on the lips because when they came out, like he actually kissed my sister.
Whoa!
So there you go.
She got Durst.
She got dursted
Dude,
right on
her
the cheek.
Durst,
Got the dirty
her
Durst?
thirst for Durst was
Did you
quenched.
kiss her cheek to get like the kiss by
I'm gonna-
osmosis?
Slurs.
No, I
thirst.
didn't.
A thirst
but
for Durst.
Damn, that was a good idea. I should have thought of that.
You could still do it. I mean, it happened.
Well, I mean, it was so long ago. How much of him is
Sure.
still in there?
All right, what kind of environment is best to watch this?
I'd say you could watch this by yourself or with friends. Honestly, either one.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
I could go either
But it's
way.
not. I would say it's if with friend. It's not like a super party movie either, though. You know what I mean? Like you could. I guess you could put it on at a party, but it's not like a raucous good time.
This would
type
be a
of thing.
movie that you don't want to have on in the background. If you're going to have a group get together, you're all going to sit down and watch it together, and not like you saying, not have a big party about it, but a group watch would be definitely a lot of fun.
Totally.
That
I
means
can totally
Travis
agree
would
with
get mad if people were talking too much. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What
are
he's
you a
saying.
shusher?
I can be, yes. Only because I want people to
respect
see
that.
the part that's coming up.
Okay, hold on. Are you okay? You're a shusher, but are you a pauser?
Yes,
Do you just
Yes.
pause and be like, "I'm not going to fucking
I will.
continue"?
I
this
will
with
pause
you.
it
There you
and
go.
explain shit.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh,
I will
yeah.
mansplain all over the goddamn house.
Oh yeah, he's a little movie Nazi.
Mm-hmm. We're learning. The more you know.
Okay.
The more.
So I'm going to kind of put these next two together. That is it for beginners thing question. Is it for beginners? And then we have the new question. What should you know about this movie going into it?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing, or just the log line that we discussed.
I didn't even know
really.
that. Ricky, was it you that like sprung this on everybody?
No.
Who did?
Colby was the one who made me aware of it, and then you guys all watched it, and that made me.
I just put it on without knowing nothing.
Same.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of like a few ones that we've covered. You don't need to know anything going into it. But for beginners, I would say it's a beginner movie, but I think some of the twists and some of the things that happen in it may have a heavier punch if you've seen similar genre movies.
There's a shot.
This.
There's
you
a
know
shot.
what I mean, like
It plays with tropes, and it'd be helpful to be familiar with those tropes.
Right.
But it's not a necessity.
There is a shot in the movie, and I know we'll get to it because Chuddle gets to it, but there is a shot in the movie that is a nod.
You're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre shot?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought of you when I saw it.
Thank you.
Yeah, boy.
Well, you have to point it out because I'm not familiar enough to have picked it up.
I'll try.
It's that shot. Yeah.
Yeah. The shot. Yeah. One of the most iconic shots in all of horror cinema. All of cinema, I'd say.
Skinema.
Yeah, it's the butt shot.
All right.
Nut shot. Butt shot.
The Chuddle Harbinger of Doom Mothman is coming fapping over. Fappity fap fap fap.
Fap, 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 fap.
Got some trigger warnings for us.
Pervert.
Not for metaphobes.
Oh yeah, not for metaphobes.
No,
there is
God.
projectile metaphobe triggering going on.
Oh, yeah.
What does metaphobe mean?
A metaphobe means you don't like vomit.
Oh,
You're scared of vomit. You don't want vomit to marry.
What?
Wait.
Excuse me?
Don't
You
believe
don't
in
want vomit to
vomit
marry or
rights.
have any
I get
rights.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We need
You're really anti-vomit.
legislation that holds vomit back in this country.
Hold on. Are y'all?
And I stand behind that stance.
Are y'all fusing two different themes of the movie together? Is that what? Because guys, I'm not smart. I really don't know shit all the time.
No. Trav, that you bring that up, there is hints of homophobia in
Yes,
this film.
there is strong.
There is.
Very strong.
There is.
Very strong family values.
I would say it's there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, Sam
we
Sam
were
is
just
making a
riffing.
joke.
Okay.
I was just
And
making a
that-
joke because people who are
Emetophobia
metaphobes
sounds
don't like
similar to
vomit.
homophobia, and emetophobia is in pertaining
Totally.
to
So he
Exactly.
doesn't
But
want
if
like
I wasn't
vomit
tying
to
it
get
to the
married.
movie.
So
You tied it to the movie.
Thank you for explaining it
I
to
was
me.
just making a
I
joke.
was. I didn't get
well,
it.
three of us were doing it at once, so I hope you got
I
it.
do now.
But good to bring it all the way
We're
back
all
around to the
professionals.
movie.
Yeah, you said
So-
you weren't smart, but you're the one who tied it into what we're
Into the
talking
movie.
about tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of what
You
we're
did
talking about tonight, let's go ahead and buckle up and rev our engines and
Spoiler zone.
all right, we made it. We can now freely discuss the film. Let's go to the IMDb behind the scenes. There's one, and it is this.
Ooh.
The Bim Bam candy and how it is used in the film was inspired by a Photoshop picture of the candy Tim Tam that famously circulated the internet in the early 2010s. According to the fake Tim Tam picture, the candy, quote, may contain traces of peanuts and human flesh.
Oh,
Shit.
So that's fun.
That's
Oh.
dark and awesome.
I don't know about these Tim Tams.
Me neither. That's fucking.
I know about a Tim Tam as an actual candy. Or
Yeah,
like,
this was somebody photoshopped one to write this on the bar, and it went viral
I know about the
see.
River Tims
in the 2010s.
'Cause I know about the Tim Tam Slam. Tim Tam Slam is when you take one of those and you put it in the coffee or something stupid. I don't know.
I don't know about Tim Tams, actually.
I believe it's
familiar.
Australian. It's a big Australian thing. Is where I
Oh.
learned it from. So
We should
Shout
ask
out to
prisoner
the
such and
Aussies.
such.
shout out to our prisoner over there.
Yeah, we should
Shout out to a prisoner in Australia.
our little Discord prisoner that we have.
Long before we knew the Chuddles, there was something that was uttered on the nightclub once. It was Sam Japan Slam. Remember that, Ricky?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
All y'all talking about the Tim
do remember
Tam,
that.
Slimmy Slams, whatever, Slim Jim Slam.
I mean,
that made me.
WikiHow has a how to do a Tim Tam slam. So if you need to know it, it's on there. It'll teach you how to slam your Tim Tam into some coffee.
How do you
and
do it?
Drink it or whatever.
How do you do a Sam Japan Slam? Ricky, what the fuck is Japan Slam? Is that a type of metal in Japan?
No.
What?
Japan slam metal?
I thought it was
Japan
I was
slam.
talking about
Japan
slam
slam?
scene from Japan in that episode. Yeah.
Okay, and yeah,
It's so
and
funny.
it became Sam.
I'm into post Neo Tokyo Japan slam.
I'm just saying, I think the Chuddle the Pod needs to start their own fucking metal subgenre, and it'd be Sam Japan Slam, and y'all all go to Japan with Brian. He's like, don't worry, I can show you all the ropes. I've been here before.
I know where Godzilla's
Exactly. And y'all go in front of
Yeah.
Godzilla and just start busking. Doing a podcast.
Oh yeah, you
Nut
can introduce
everywhere.
us.
Oh, dude,
I will.
I want to meet
I got a
Godzilla.
picture.
I would fucking so be
He's
down
dope.
for
He
that.
just hangs out over this hotel. I think he's still there.
Oh, so
I
good.
think. I don't remember if they were taking it down or I don't know.
All right, Lowlifes. Who picked it? History and why? I picked this one. It's a new one. We kind of mentioned Colby brought it to the Discord. And then
That would be
people
Colby
started
Moldy
watching
Pudding
it.
Pie, the monster witch that cannot die.
Right. That's his
right.
name.
He also has a
The
podcast,
one and the same.
the Horror House podcast. Check that out, and they'll be on next episode for.
The Descent.
But he started talking about this, and it kind of caught fire in our Discord. And when I watched it, I loved it and was like, I want to talk about this. I don't want to wait.
To be over.
To be over.
I changed my pick. It was going to be something else, and I was like, no, I want to
Changed
talk
my
about
pick
this
right
with the
now.
boys
It's
now.
going to be something else.
So I watched this, I don't know, a couple weeks
I don't
ago, and then here we are.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm glad you
Ross
I
and
mean,
Brian.
we don't have same. I mean,
Yeah.
not much of a history.
No,
you hadn't
go
seen
in
it
It's like I
blind
picked
until
Low
I
Lives.
picked it.
I've had
Yeah.
okay.
I
I'll
know.
watch it.
I'll watch it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Same here.
T-Boo?
Just what, like they said, I thought it was Colby, but
Yeah.
Ricky might have watched it first, and that's when I was like, okay, now I'm gonna watch this movie for sure. No offense, Colby, but Ricky's kind of a gauge.
A lot of offense.
Well, if he wants to build a fence with me, I'll
I
build a
hear it in
fence.
your
I'll build a
voice.
fence with him. It's cool, as long as we have a gate so we can cross over into each other's yards and play frisbee with our dogs. Isn't that right, Colby?
No gates.
Message me, DM me. Let me know if your dog wants to play with my dog. You know what I'm talking about. No, but
Yeah, break your shin or whatever he did to that guy.
oh shit! Oh!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
Don't break my shin ball.
blind
Fucking
watch,
listeners are
and
tough.
that's all I got. That's all I got. I'm out.
Yeah, same. Blind watch.
Nice. Blind
I watched it because Colby said to watch it.
I tied up like a fucking rag across my eyes, and I watched this movie, bro. Blind as fuck. I loved it.
That's right.
Like, somebody tell me what's happening.
2 times I did that. 2 times.
All right, let's talk about it then.
Let's do it.
Lead us through, please.
We open on a man limping down a moonlit country road calling for help. A gloved hand slashes his Achilles. We get a sweet throat cut. And top down shot of the body getting dragged off. And as the baddie drags away, we see Lowlifes.
Sucked off screen.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
sucked off
Very,
screen
very
by-
dope ass fucking like neck slit with the blood gush.
Yeah, it's the
Mhm.
practical effects in
gets
this
slitted.
movie, I think, are pretty good. I
It was a good
enjoyed
slitting.
them.
It was a good
It was a good
slit.
slitting.
Yep.
I think having the title card as the body goes, I was like, that's nice.
That was
That's a
fun.
nice touch.
It made me
This whole
think
intro
of,
I loved, and the whole vibe
I
of
loved
it
it.
too. I
Yeah.
figured Sam. As soon as I saw this, I saw a sense of what Sam liked of it. It felt very giallo in a sense that it was just a
Yes.
masked,
Oh,
knifed,
yeah, like a gloved
thing.
hand.
very moody
I'll
feeling.
tell you right
because of the
now,
soundtrack is too. I
The
feel.
cockles for this movie for me, yeah, the soundtrack I love. I've been listening to it. So right away after it gets dragged away, we get I put Happy Songs opens as an RV is pulled out over a country road and they have a barbecue. But that happy song now I know is called Feeding Off Your Love because I've listened to it like 2 or 3 times a day for a week now.
so
It's on the soundtrack for this, which is on Spotify.
Ooh, good.
What were you gonna say, Rick?
Off your love.
I was gonna say I wanted to mention bodies being dragged away. That sequence made me think of Night of the Demon with the big footprint filling up with blood and what.
Yes,
That's what that made me think of.
Dude, I'm also a big fan of like a really good title card. Like if you can nail a title card, it's fucking people hate that term, but whatever, it elevates the movie a little bit. Like I really dig that.
Oh yeah. Well, little suckle at the cockle.
Yeah, dude. Little suck. Oh, big.
Yeah.
A big
suck
on the cockle.
So we get this stereotypical nuclear white suburban family. They're barbecuing, meat's on the grill. Don't never disrespect a good piece of meat by cooking it to death. Dad's giving corny advice.
You all knew at this point, right?
We all knew they were cannibals at this point, right? Because
I didn't
literally
know.
didn't. Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, I was tuned in right away for whatever reason.
Not at all.
I just my cannibalism senses were tingling, and I think it was like how he's like sucking on that fat.
That's
like
good to know.
That's what
that our whatever gets raised. Cannibals, Ross. We can detect cannibals. I feel like that's good to know about ourselves. I think
so. That's
cannibal pimples.
That's our apocalyptic.
I feel like I should have you guys around here in our neck of the apocalypse. I feel like I'll be safer.
No, I think.
Or
it
is
was
that
just,
what a cannibal would say?
Ooh, shit.
Sorry, Ross. Go on, please.
Yeah. No. I think it was just I think that it's a and this is kind of a bigger overlapping thing with this family is that they are very like Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to be this like I almost thought of them as like atomic age 50s style family. At least that's how the father kind of portrays things.
Yeah, so that's how he would like things.
Almost,
that's how he would like it.
Family values. I keep saying it.
100%. And in this entire scene where he's seasoning, he goes, "Oh, the fat's the best part." He's like, it's like, oh, it's like borderline cartoonish. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
where
very corny. On my first watch, I was like, okay, I get it. This is like a cheesy family. But I had no idea it was cannibalism. So then when I found that out later and realized that's what was happening in the beginning, I was like, oh, gross. And it made me like that part even more. But yeah, I had no idea.
Oh,
no reason to suspect
it was weird.
this
I don't know
family
what,
of
like
cannibalism when it started.
Yeah, I think it definitely changed the trajectory while watching this movie because I was like, oh, they're probably all right, so they're probably cannibals.
Let me rephrase that.
And then because I think I texted Brian.
Well, sorry, I was just thinking, did you at this point have any inkling that not necessarily about cannibals, that they were our killers or they were the baddies essentially?
No, I mean,
no,
because I think maybe that's what my first inkling was, and maybe I'm just remembering that I thought it was I watched it 2 times at this point, so I don't remember if I knew exactly they were cannibals, but I knew that I felt like I knew they were the baddies.
They weren't normal,
and they were being suspicious, and they were eating suspicious things.
I didn't get that at all. I got that I thought that the hillbillies were a red herring for what the baddies were, but I didn't think it was going to be our family. I thought there was just going to be some other thing going on.
It was mainly because the dad. I felt like I believed
it was about at all.
It's the dad. It's very much like all the other characters I feel in the family kind of were a little more docile. It's just like the dad and how he portrayed himself in the beginning. I didn't necessarily think they were going to be the baddies, but part of me was like the choose your own adventure part of my brain where I was like, okay, so if they are cannibals, then they are going up. I thought it was going to be like Gangs of New York, where it was like homicidal hillbillies and then a cannibalistic LA family, which kind of pretty much happens. But like,
that'd be funny if they were.
But they're forced to be homicidal.
It'd be good if they were 2 different families of cannibals just from different societies
and then came together,
and then they come together. Well, that's what it sounds like. I'm sorry, we're getting off track here, but it sounds like maybe that's where they're going to.
Yeah, they're going
together to some event that's like some sort of gathering, and I figured they're going to some gathering of the cannibals.
Gathering of the juggalos. Where they belong.
The daughters were going to come together.
Yeah, the dark carnival.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. No, when I first watched this, I had no idea that this was going to be a cannibal movie or anything like that. And I also didn't suspect the family. The red herring part, and this is when I love like when a movie can really throw me off, because sometimes I watch a film and I've seen so many types of different, like you start piecing it together. I think Brian and Ross,
you recognize patterns.
They put it together like right away. I was just taken by it. And
like right away, it's like, here's a family eating
Yeah.
meat. You're like, these are
Cannibals.
the killers and they're cannibals.
Right, and they're cannibals.
The dad was just too almost on point with the serial killer glasses, and like it was almost just.
Sure.
I
It's
get the
very
point, but it
on-
was
it's
like
very
the
on
second
nose.
it was so on nose that like I
it's
picked
funny.
up on it.
It's
I
funny you
guess.
say that because the first time I took him for a nerd. Like he's a nerdy ass, doesn't
too.
know shit dad.
I was like, they're making him just the corniest, typical.
He's
like,
unaware that his daughter hates even being there.
Exactly. I saw that all as the act this dad plays as a serial killer.
Yeah.
Like,
See, this is where our cannibalistic apocalypse senses start going, where I'm like, we can't trust that guy.
so
They
we
got
are valuable to
Listen-
your gang in the
to the
apocalypse.
gang
Okay.
later on. When the bomb drops, you're gonna want us. That's
Hell
all.
Come
yeah.
down to Louisiana, cub. We'll fucking hunt possums
on.
and we'll cook gumbos.
Ross,
So, wait,
Ross, let me
yeah.
see your legs.
me
I see
see
your.
them.
This is what he, this is
Let
what
me
he
see
does
them
on the
gams.
nightclub.
Yeah,
Get ready to edit, Brian.
Let me see them. Let me see them ham hocks.
right.
Let me see them man hams.
The man.
Steam up some
Do a
man
little-
hams.
Do
Steam
a
up
little, steam up some hams for me. Do a little Lowlifes twirl for me.
do them twirls.
If he's
Do
gonna
it in
show them to
twirl.
you, you better
Okay,
cut him
so-
up, Rick.
I think also is that because obviously we have the family and then we get the rednecks that get kind of introduced that kind of pull up looking for the.
I love
think
them.
it's
They're
just
looking for Melior.
Melior, and I think
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
name.
me too, dude.
Melior.
That's
Melior.
fucking. It's like
You see
Excelsior.
Melior?
it's such okay, and I understand why they did it as a plot device. Is that you have like over sexual innuendos, you have over like violent
They're eating
undertones.
crickets.
Right.
But I mean, they're eating mushrooms.
It's crickets.
or
Crickets.
mushrooms?
Crickets.
They eating shrooms. He's eating
I
crickets.
literally thought it was mushrooms.
That'd be
I was like,
hilarious.
I
I think they're
think the whole
eating
fucking
shrimp.
He's
handful
got
of
a bag of
mushrooms.
crickets. He's like,
Shit.
What the fuck?
yeah, no, okay, my bad, Ross. Go ahead. That's an important plot point, though.
It is an important plot point. I think what was strange, and I understand it is a plot device, is that they played the hand of what you would think of the stereotypical like villain hillbilly rednecks. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where like they're over sexualizing the daughter, they're being very like aggressive towards the family. I think it's a weird pivot shift though, is that when we find out the family are cannibals, it's a hard hand to take back when you're trying to sympathize with the rest of the family. Because like the rest of the family really are not even remotely close to all of the people that you find on the road that are just like delicious and like that weird like, well, let's go in the back with your daughter for 5 minutes. Like it was like really laid on fucking thick with the outsiders. Like
I
Billy-
didn't think it was laid on too thick at all. There's the line delicious on the RV, and then there's the like, we'll tell you what, how about we, but that's like two things that they're not like, she's super hot. Like it is
I thought
nuanced.
Subtle. It's subtle.
In the two times,
maybe
it's
I mean like he
mentioned.
literally
I don't
says
think it's
maybe me and
over-sexualized
Billy
at all.
can
I don't
go
right
in the
there.
back
I think
with
it's
your
supposed
daughter.
to seem. No, he says maybe we can go look around your RV. He doesn't say a word about the daughter. It's implied.
we can go in there with her for 5 minutes and check out the inside of the RV. That's what he says.
Yeah, it's an
He says-
implication.
Yeah, it's a threat.
It's the
It's a
implication.
threat. It's
But
the implication.
regardless, I don't think it's.
It's
I don't
the
think
implied.
I'm
He
sitting
doesn't
right in the
say-
middle of where you two, I think, are. I don't think it's as nuanced as that, but I don't think it's as heavy-handed. It didn't slap me in the face because I enjoyed the characters and what we were doing here. I was on.
Yeah,
I
they
did
seemed
really
very
do enjoy it.
threatening, and I believed that they were the bad guys right away.
I kind of did too. The movie. I'm a sucker. This movie had me.
This movie got me. Yeah.
I was enjoying it because, like I
No,
said,
I-
I liked them and I liked
I
that
didn't
the whole thing that they're
suspect
playing
anything
here.
till way
I
later.
love his fucking bag of crickets and like
Yeah.
the whole
Yes.
chocolate bar exchange. He's like, okay,
Now,
I guess so.
With all of these aside, I'm thoroughly enjoying the ride that I'm
For
on.
sure.
You know what I mean? It was just a very strange.
You're just like, I fucking
it
know
was
this
almost like a-
family is a goddamn cannibals and I
this
can't
family's
trust
gonna
anything.
fucking eat these people, dude. Like, it was that, but it's also the there's just like a
So you don't think those two belong with like the nice old man and the two daughters? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna be that sketchy, the rest of the redneck family should be on an equal
Well-
or somewhat other level of sketchy.
See, but they also came up suspicious of this family. They saw them and right away were like, these are the people that killed Melior, just like you thought. So they're coming up on guard. So they're suspicious of them. That's why he's, calling them glasses and stuff.
Well, it's just, I think that
because I really like
especially...
Vern, not the guy with the shotgun who stays around on the road. I love him.
I think cool. I think when Billy when they accepted Billy going into the RV, is that like there was not a barbarian level of red flags that happened, but a substantial amount of red flags where the second that guy got into the RV, I'm sitting there going like,
this was the part.
They're going to fucking,
on the first watch.
Dude. I think it was like
red flags for who though? You, the audience, or for Billy?
No, for the family, as in like a normal family of like a mom, a pop, and like like having those 16-year-old kid.
Oh, like letting him on, right? Yeah, because I would never. Right.
Not even fucking remotely close.
Yeah.
But it was actually really funny. I think this was like 13 minutes into the movie. I texted Brian, and I was like, is this just is this just a homicidal cannibalistic family about to murder a bunch of rednecks? And
literally a minute later, I get another text. It's like, I should have just waited for minute 17.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't work for you guys because I had no idea any of that was coming. I still don't know how you picked it up.
I'm kind of with Ross on this part. On the first watch, I turned to Ashley and I was like, when Billy got on the RV, which it's crucial to say, the son of the atomic family that we're talking about, the nuclear family,
Jacob.
Jeffrey.
Oh,
Jeffrey Epstein. When he offered up chocolate to the cricket bag boy, that's a crucial plot element right there.
And he's a creepy motherfucker too.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't
jib-jabs
been on the notes for a while here.
I was just trying to catch up to the RV scene because on the first time watch,
but we're not even. I mean,
well, let's go.
We're like, no. I mean, I don't even know where I'm at anymore.
I don't even know what's going on.
The Hicks leave, and then the RV family leaves, and then they see the Hicks like a mile down the road, broke down, and they're like, what luck that y'all happen to pass by. And the dad's like, well, there's only one way in and out of here. So it's kind of,
well, here's the next moment of tension just to build the misdirect with those characters, because they're going down the road
with the shotgun.
Yeah. Because that's a fun scene too, as the dad's driving their big old beat up RV, which that RV looks dope as hell.
They're playing Mad Libs. They're playing Mad Libs. It was the grandpa's RV. We had found out. There's a bunch of beautiful little details.
Yeah, and so I love the whole Mad Libs thing is great too. But yeah, as they're driving down, and then we see, I think Billy's like sitting on the side of the truck, and then the other one comes around with the shotgun. Dad's like, oh, and he's got a shotgun or something like that. And like,
yes, that's such a great line. Now, Sam, given the fact that I kind of like was like not called it, but just like had that idea, it's still a fucking fun ride. You know what I mean? Like this entire thing where I'm like, okay, all right. So if my theory is correct, because at this point, none of that shit has dropped out yet because we haven't gotten our first kill. So in my head, I'm like,
right, because you still have to see how it plays out.
Exactly. But I'm still, I'm like, oh my God, if this is what I'm thinking, this is going to fucking pop off at any moment.
Yeah. And on my first watch, this scene when he climbs in, that's when I started getting suspicious. That's when I was like, something's not quite right here, but I didn't go immediately to I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that this was going to be a crucial scene. But I also didn't think that Billy was about to pop off either, not with this whole, so it was like a weird thing. And once it happens, I was like, oh shit. And then it got even more fucked up, and I'm like, damn, this movie is fucking going for it, dude. Like I'm hook, line, and sinker.
So Sam, do you want to, like, I don't know, walk us, I guess, at that point? Is that a good starting point? We're getting Billy into the RV? Or
okay, so Billy gets on, and the son tries to play Mad Libs with Billy, but Billy is uneducated.
Like
we learn
Blue.
the history of Billy's family.
Oh, you mean like Red?
For 80 years? Yeah. So that was great. I love that. So he's uneducated. Yes. So he tells him, it's like, oh, adjective describes something like red or something. It's like, okay, red. And he goes, well, it can be anything. And he goes, okay, blue. But he was joking. So he's not like dumb. He's smart. That's a clever joke to play back. But he's uneducated.
Yeah.
So I just like that as well. Like it shows us a lot about
He's got wit, but he ain't educated.
the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a great way of taking that trope and flipping it on its head, where like they're uneducated but they're still smart. As in like and this whole family is doing this because they find these people that live outside of the city and in like these rural areas as like less than human. So
Yeah,
like
they don't
having
deserve to
these really
live.
witty comments made by this family, that I thoroughly enjoy a lot of like the narrative in the family that really kind of puts that trope on its head.
So we learned about Billy's family. They've lived outside of town for 80 years. They got his pa and 2 baby cousins there. And I put, for such a jolly guy, he comes off as really creepy, that Billy, because he's like laughing and smiling, but like there's just something kind of sinister about it. And they really play it up too. I looked at pictures of the actors. He's like a handsome dude. They really did a good job.
Totally. It's and that's where I feel like a lot of these characters to me are just like almost too on the nose, like how the dad was too on the nose, where like this guy's in the RV and then looks at the daughter and goes, delicious, where I'm like, okay, now you're just like really doubling down on the
I mean, I think at that point they're
hillbilly
really
aspect.
leaning into that to maybe give the audience
want
to figure
us
it out
to be
right
surprised.
well, I think to also
Oh, you think they want us to?
it could be just to make the people who want to figure it out, because right after that moment we're getting our kill. I mean, just to give
Pretty
the
much,
audience
yeah.
I figured it out type of thing, because
But what
that's our
a
ultimate
great reveal though.
flip in the movie and changeover of
I
everything
didn't
is
figure
when
it out
Billy
still
comes
until he
in.
got stabbed. Jeffrey stabs Billy. Yeah, 2
Oh,
knives.
well,
in the
I mean,
neck.
like,
and I went
2 knives in the neck. Well, Bill, I mean, like the second I realized, well, I mean, obviously I knew before, but like when Billy is reading and he pulls the ad lib book and he realizes that his
that's so funny.
Melior.
He goes, that's Melior's
Melior.
handwriting. And they're like, "Are you sure that's Melior's?" He's like, "Yeah, these R's are backwards and some of the L's too."
yes,
That was the
Exactly.
giveaway moment where I was like, oh fuck.
fuck.
And then you
Right.
get it. You get the goddamn neck stabbing. And that's my jump off the couch moment, because I was like, oh shit. And blood. Oh no, I like how the mom turns around. She's like, don't pull the blade out. It's going to make a mess everywhere. And the dad's like, I thought we talked about this. You got to wait for the signal while he's driving. Like, it's so casual to them. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a typical family bickering, but it's about, murder and cannibalism.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Mhm. And it really does establish like the hierarchy of this serial killer family, as in like the son is very like
Traumatized.
just impromptu. He's like, this guy is like, the kid's like a homicidal maniac.
Yeah.
As in like, he's not waiting for a signal. He just wants to fucking kill.
Right.
The dad's more calculated. The mom is kind of like there to clean it up. And the daughter's in the background, just very blasé about the entire experience.
I feel like the son is like the ultimate. Well, the daughter's traumatized for sure and doesn't want to even. We'll get to that, but the son is like, he's so traumatized that now he's brainwashed, and like it's his only motive is like kill.
I don't even know if they're traumatized.
Yeah.
Like the way that they're portrayed, it's like, I think they've been doing this since birth. So it's not really trauma. It's just like, oh, this is just a family
Conditioning.
outing.
Whatever. Yeah.
Like
It
cult,
wants
like
dad's-
almost cult
He
level.
wants
Because
dad's
it seems
approval
like
too.
it's a rite of passage. Like, because he's like, oh, am I
Yeah.
going to get to kill this one? And he's like, well, we'll see
Like
if
all this-
everything
son.
works out. Yeah.
all the stuff he
Yeah.
did that he shouldn't have, dad secretly like on the side tells him like, good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's proud
And
of
I
him.
do like the,
Yeah.
Well,
Which is
they-
totally family dynamic. Like, can't think of how many times I got in trouble and then my dad was like,
Oh, yeah,
it's not that
dude.
bad. I kind of
All
liked
right,
it.
yeah.
Right.
And I do like the
I know we had to-
escalation.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ross.
I do like that they talk about it in dialogue too, is that I do like that as this family's quote unquote, well, dad gets real mad when he calls it a hobby, but this is what we do. But it's like they allude to the fact in dialogue that they have mostly been killing drifters and homeless
Mhm.
people and shit like that. And this is the first time that
yeah.
this family has ventured out and is actually like doing a home invasion
Well,
and
that was-
killing actual like
Well, yeah.
like killing like
family?
residents of a
Yeah.
family.
Not
Right.
just
You know what I
like
mean?
a
Like
hitchhiker.
it's usually
They're raising
Exactly.
the stakes. They're raising the stakes
Yes.
for themselves. And I didn't catch that. So I'm glad you brought it up. I actually didn't catch that until my second watch. So yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
why I consider it a vampire movie now.
Oh, because of stakes through the heart.
But well, there's that.
They eat blood.
Or
they eat people.
They eat people, and they have to be invited in. They don't just invade the home; they get invited inside.
They're campires.
Yes, they're cannibal pyres.
Mm-hmm.
The cannibal pyre family.
So we see the Cleary house for a minute. Savannah puts away her bow and arrow. She's making supper. Back in the RV, everybody's wearing the white coveralls, cutting up Billy's body.
Yep.
More family spatting about like cutting up the body and putting stuff away.
Awesome practical effects in that scene,
Looks
by the
great.
way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't
the practical
notice
effects are great.
till this. So I actually put it on a third time tonight, just because I had time. When we see the dad and he's with Billy in the shower, I didn't notice the severed arm that Billy has, just has like a spout of blood coming out of it the whole time, which is like a cool little
Nice.
touch.
Splort.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that like any butcher or hunter is that there's the sweetmeats where it's like, no, she's gonna get the eyeball because she really likes the
dude.
eyeball.
Mhm.
And he goes, "Why are you eating? Like, why are you?
Why does she get
wanna
the
eat
eyeball?"
raw."
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
The
right.
son is eating the raw meat. It's like, hey, our immune systems are up because we're adults. Like you can't do this yet. And daughter gets the eyeball because she can control her impulses. And Jeffrey's like, yeah, sure she can. Whacks him on the head. Hey, don't hit your brother.
I
like it's
I
all
like
this.
that part.
Yeah.
When she smacks the fuck out of him.
She hits him. She wallops
She
him.
looks like she
Wallops
wops
him.
him. Yeah, bonks
Yeah.
him even.
Wops
For
and
sure.
bonks.
That's a bonk. Billy's cell phone rings. Dad Keith breaks the phone and says, "Let's get moving if we're going to the Cleary house." At the Cleary house, Julianne, Savannah, and Pa say grace and dig in. Julianne complains it's spaghetti, and Savannah says, "Sorry if I want to eat fancy every now and then." There's a knock at the door, and you would have thought like you would have thought there was a real home invasion from the knock on the door. The way they react to that, they're like, "What was that?" Like, no,
Right.
the door's open. Like nobody. Oh, it's probably Billy just messing around. Go answer the door. So Julianne gets it, and she's like, "Billy, what? Oh, Jesus Christ!" Like shocked because there's this family, that picture perfect family waiting outside.
And when you live out in the country, if you get a knock at your door at night when you having supper, my God, dead don't. Who the fuck? Why didn't you text me first, cousin? Why you coming over like
Right.
that?
Right.
Who
How you just
outside
gonna
my
show
house?
up, man?
You don't just show up like that.
You doing something wrong,
The
man.
door's unlocked. You would have walked
I'll
in.
say that's true of the city too. Don't come and do that at my
Right, exactly. No, and I do give credit where credit's due is that the one cousin was just grilling this family, which makes
Savannah.
logical sense.
Yeah.
Savannah.
Savannah,
It's like,
yeah.
and I really do like Savannah's
Mhm.
character. I have some issues with it later on in the movie, but like with this, it's like, this is so on point because this is like Savannah almost is like the audience member. I said, like, this is so sus that I'm so glad that one of the characters is realizing how off kilter this really is.
I
Right.
would have been more like Julianne or Pa, and been like, "Oh, well, you saw Billy, and yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Come on in."
Yeah, no, these people would not be inside my house.
Well, they'd probably
Sam-
not be inside my
If
house
my-
either.
if-
but
if my
if
children-
a family like this showed up, I'm not
Yeah.
like
Nah.
putting up red flags and thinking
if my kids are with
these
me,
must be cannibals.
they're not coming in. But if I'm by myself, I'd probably let them in. I ain't gonna lie.
I probably wouldn't. Let
I think
them
this is
in,
the
but
time
I'd
to
try
make
and
the
help
joke.
'em.
I'd be like, "You are some fine young cannibals, but I will not be letting you into my house."
They drive me
Yeah.
crazy. Bow, bow.
But now, if they started playing that, now we have a different kind of scenario
Oh,
here.
I love
They'll,
it.
Like,
I
Oh,
pull out
love
that's a
some
fun
instruments.
kind of cannibals.
Yeah.
Fun young cannibals.
I would have loved the fact that if they had shown up and been like, "I'm so sorry for disturbing you. Are you in the middle of dinner? We actually have these steaks.
Some
Would you
Omaha
want to eat
steaks.
supper with us?"
Oh, good God.
And like cook cook their family member for them and make them sit at the table and eat it. I thought that was, like, part of me was like, "Oh, I would
Someone
love
came to my door saying, "You want to eat some of my weird RV steaks?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, man! I'm a couillon, bro. I might try that RV steak, man. Oh no!
Cook me a nice nice
time
calf
somebody's
stew.
knocked on my parents' door selling steaks out of their trunk, like growing up.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a thing. I don't know why that was a
No,
thing.
that
Oh,
happened.
no, that happens down here
My
too.
God.
Louisiana, fucking
Yeah.
Brucherica. They drive around and
The
sell
only
meat.
time,
Swear to
the
God.
only
You
time
want
that
that?
happened.
You want that pure Omaha?
So the family's like, we ran into Billy on the road, and he said, "Hey, come on in. We're like, stop there. It's closer than going into town." Pa is stoked to have visitors, and they start serving up some good old Southern hospitality, except for Savannah, who is still suspicious. We learn the Clearys all share a phone, the one that Keith broke. And that's when we get the joke is like, it sounds like you're all on the family plan. Their family laughs, but the Cleary don't. And then the mom, Kathleen, says something about it was quite the trek. And Julianne's like, "Trek? Y'all from outer space?" And their family laughs and the other one doesn't. We're getting a real view of where these two families come from.
I love it.
They're all eating dinner. Savannah and Amy are eyeballing each other. We can already tell something's happening there. Julianne makes fun of Savannah's suspicion, asking, "Do these people look dangerous to you?" Right after she says it, we get a cool shot of all the like knives and
Right, everyone's
dilated
slowly
eyes getting
coming
ready
out.
to go.
Yeah.
When suddenly we hear a thump, thump, thump of heavy footsteps, and it's Big Mac.
It's
Gotta make
Big
room
Mac.
for
Big old
It's me.
Mac.
It's Lil T-Boo. It's Lil Mac. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing?
Oh, hey,
Hello, everyone.
See Mac right there. Look at that boy.
Before we talk about Big Mac real quick, I think we passed over the Texas Chainsaw Massacre scene.
We did.
Yeah.
It's when they first get to the house.
Yep.
There's a shot of the daughter walking up to the front door, and the camera's like low, looking at the house and her walking,
Oh.
and it's basically a recreation.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
I'm sure it's intentional.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For sure.
100%.
Absolutely.
I kind of am aware of that shot in Texas Chainsaw. It's not
It's
like
also
one of
in
the
Scare
hugest movies
Package.
for me. But
It is.
Yeah.
I
Red
think
Chad.
of the sledgehammer in the doorway as the
fuck
iconic
yeah.
shot from Texas Chainsaw.
I was waiting for Big Mac to have like some gnarly fucking facial scar. Like he already.
I was ready for a little bit more something. I
More-
mean, if I felt all of our characters
We
were
don't
so
see
much.
his
I
face. Once we see his face,
I
it's
was kinda
like a
like,
little bit of a disappointment.
felt, yeah. So
I
not
thought-
to,
Just looks like a guy.
I thought he looked
Just
like.
looks like a dude. He's just a fella.
I thought he looked like Ronald McDonald.
I was like,
I thought he was the
something.
hamburglar personally.
Robble,
Big
robble,
Mac.
robble.
I wanted some foot like 6'9", 350. Like this dude's just like giant.
The grimace.
It's Bill Goldberg.
Grimace.
The
Or no, it's
grimace
just
just
he-
comes
Grimace.
downstairs.
Who's that? That's the grimace. Boom, boom.
just having Leatherface's body and then just Mayor McCheese's head. Oh, that's
yeah.
Big Mac.
Yeah, bro.
So Big Mac enters. They all put their weapons away. Shotgun guy Vern is cold as fuck out by the road trying to get a hold of Billy. Deputy pulls up. He and Vern have a history, and Vern doesn't like him. Says he doesn't need a ride because some real nice folks from LA gave Billy a ride, and he will be back any minute. Still no sign of Melior. Vern isn't feeling well, and the deputy takes off. Jeff, yeah,
It's the downside. Eat that many crickets.
Yeah, dude,
you get
dude.
the poops.
Well, no, it's the
that's what he says.
well, and
it's the
yeah,
chocolate bar.
for sure.
Yeah, that's when we get the shot of the chocolate wrapper in the window. Like it follows him vomiting and it moves to the chocolate bar to imply that's what did it. But
So-
he says it too many crickets to the cop.
So as just a preliminary, okay, if you're gonna eat these people, why would you taint the meat by poisoning them first?
I don't think that the poisoning is going to affect the overall outcome of like what they're going to get to later. You know, it'll be dissolved and gone by then type thing. My,
Seems
I guess
like
they're
it
not
just
eating the
makes them
guts, maybe?
sick as well.
Yeah, it just makes them-
Why
makes them
would you?
weak enough
Why
to
would you
kill 'em.
scare it too, man? You know, stress it out. You don't want to scare your
That's
beef.
so
They should be giving them
true.
massage.
That
well,
gets
that's why
into
they're
the
so
meat.
nice to them.
Human meat
it's
might-
a surprise.
Be
human
different.
meat doesn't taste different
Maybe it
once the
tastes
adrenaline
better
pumps
with
through it.
fear.
It tastes the same. It's better.
It does.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's fine. I
Oh,
mean,
I'm
I
glad
wasn't
you-
sure
oh,
we
wait.
were ready to
No,
how do you-
reveal our.
whoa,
How do you know
no,
that?
no, no. But I like this scene though for the tension between the deputy and what's his name, Vern.
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 the history you mentioned, and
Hey,
like
burn.
You know what I mean,
how
Vern?
he's
I
always
like it's an implied history. Like, you
Yes.
still mad about the fence? And he's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
well, you didn't give us a fair chance or something. It's like, all right, clearly there's something.
He's
we
like,
don't,
I could take you back to town. He's like, I'll shoot you or whatever he says. Like,
I could shoot you right
Yeah.
here and nobody would know.
yeah,
And,
Right.
All right.
I love
Night,
all
Vern.
this shit. Like, this is
Which
Yeah.
I guess does give a little bit of a pretense to the tumultuous relationship between the law enforcement and the family, which I guess comes into play at the end of
For
the
sure.
movie.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
But it didn't. That really didn't click. I don't know. That part of like click. I did like that tension though, where I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? I also like that we get some like. We're not supposed to know what the fuck happened beforehand. We just get a tidbit where I'm like, oh,
At
okay,
this-
so like,
At this point,
Yeah.
I really thought that Vern was gonna come back at the end and save the day. Like, I was like,
I
My
thought he was
boy's
going to
gonna
be
s-
our final girl. I thought they were going
Right.
to kill everybody at the house, and he was not.
Right.
I didn't think he was necessarily going to save the day, but like, yeah, be our
right. That's
survivor.
part closer to what I meant. But
So-
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna come back and kick ass and be
Part
the
of
one that
me-
lives, maybe, you know?
part of me also thought that like, I don't even know the best good way to put this is that like, say the cannibalistic family is like a piranha, and then they get into the house of a shark, as in like they're bad guys, but then they get to the house of even worse people. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, well, we're planning on killing you. And then I saw a Big Mac where I'm like, oh, what if this whole family is just psychopaths as
Right.
well, but worse psychopaths than this family?
You'd have a
tried?
That would
devil's
be
double
a fun
twist.
double twist.
You'd almost
Hell
have like
yeah.
a Devil's
Yeah.
Rejects kind of plot where
What was
the guy's going after the crazy family, and now because of all the trauma, not because of that, but like he's crazier than them, at least in that movie. But in this movie, yeah,
Yes.
how about go ahead?
I'm not going to reveal what happens at the end, but towards the end, I did call it to Ashley. I said, this is going to end like Night of the Living Dead.
It does, yeah.
I saw it coming a little bit, but not like full blown. But I was like, once a certain thing happens and a certain choice gets made, I was like, this is not going to end well.
Talking about Arrow.
No,
No, we'll get to
we'll
it.
get to it.
Amy asks where the bathroom is, and Pa tells her the shitter don't flush, but don't worry, Savannah will take care of it.
I do like how Pa's like,
Which sucks.
he's like, show her where the
Yeah.
bathroom is. Use some manners. And it's like very cordial and nice.
Right.
And he's like, well, if the shitter don't flush immediately
Yeah,
after.
the shitter don't
exactly.
flush. Right.
Followed it up immediately by that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was good comedic timing.
We
I
get
enjoyed
more of
it.
the family being super nice, awkwardly offering Keith a free haircut. Amy is in the bathroom rolling a joint, but before she leaves, the eyeball she was given earlier falls out next to the toilet,
Yeah, dude.
which
Hello.
will come up later.
Bedtime
Yeah,
snack or whatever.
Yeah, she finds Savannah in the hallway, and they flirt before they're called to the living room so Savannah can play piano for everyone. I actually like that moment. They're kind of flirting, and then Julianne comes in, the sister, and she's like, oh! And she kind of knows what's
Right,
happening, and
yeah.
then she secretly knows that her sister's a lesbian, so she, instead of like doing anything, she's like, oh, so you're in college? And she's like trying to,
Help.
she's like being a wingman for her
Yes,
sister.
yes.
It's a great
Yeah,
little
it was
moment.
good.
I
It
love
was
that
good.
too.
And then-
Yeah.
She's like,
I
oh,
love-
well,
I
we gotta
love-
go to the living room.
I love the family dynamics in this movie. I
Me
love
too.
They play off
I
each other
think-
in different weird ass ways, but yeah.
Right,
I
they
think all
play
the
off and they
characters-
just subvert everything.
Exactly.
The whole
They
time. It's-
immediately prevent as a stereotype, and
You-
then it keeps like chipping away the.
you would think
layers.
the ignorant rednecks would not be cool with homosexuality, but here they are. They
Mhm.
are. But the suburban, family over there is the one that
From Cal-
has a
from-
would have a problem
From Calabasas
from Calabasas.
has a
Mhm.
problem with the homosexuality. Yeah,
So yeah, the dad she has to hide it, which
exactly.
I don't know
Yeah,
why I'm
Amy
talking about
does.
it right now. It's going to come up later.
No,
She
you're
plays
good.
beautiful. So Savannah
I'm not.
plays piano, and she plays beautifully. I really love the sound of I really do think it is a
She's
beautiful
dope.
little piano ditty that she does. I'm into it.
That's a real beautiful ditty you did right there.
Mm-hmm. Even our murderous family seems particularly touched by her play. By her playing,
It was very
I
good.
love the
The
way
mom in
I love the
particular.
way our dad loves it too.
and the dad too.
I
he's
love the
like
dad
in
so
tears
much.
almost.
He's so wholesome and
I
just
think
like,
that
yeah.
I think everything that dad does is a facade. I think he kind of likes it, but it's still facade-ish. I think the mom genuinely loves it and is sad because it comes into play later. He's like, I won't make you kill the piano one player.
I thought y'all meant
I
the
agree.
grandpa.
I was talking about the old man.
The grandpa.
Yeah, I was talking about
Paul.
the old man.
Paul.
My bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, yeah,
loves
yeah.
it.
Is he their
I
grandpa?
feel
I
like
think
he
he's
has
their grandpa.
They do this every night. Like, he's like, I love this part of the night. I get to
Right.
hear the
I
piano.
love him. He's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
It's awkward as shit, but I'm like,
No,
look at-
he's like everybody. I
man.
want y'all to see my granddaughter. I think that's the grandpa. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah. He's showing off.
Yeah, he's
Like,
like,
yeah.
look at my granddaughter's talents and like check it out. And
Right.
it's something to be proud of. He's got the pride, man.
Sure.
I dig it. They got strong family values too. It's just different.
So
It's a different kind.
It's,
It's like one family's corn and one of
Good
them's Limp
kind.
Bizkit.
yeah.
the family split off into the various rooms they're going to be sleeping in. This is when once again Julianne swings in as a good wingman and is like, "Oh no, why don't you you can Savannah and Amy, you two can share a room together. I mean, you can sleep in the same bed. What's the matter? You're both girls." Like
Right.
totally just getting in there and forcing it, which is awesome.
Facilitating.
Keith and Kathleen see their room. Paul leaves them in there, and Keith is stoked on the situation. But Kathleen's nervous, especially about Big Mac. But, the chocolate's poisoned, so
Mhm.
they should be good.
Did you see him eat the chocolate? And he goes, well, I did not see him.
I like
eat the
that
chocolate."
line too. Yeah.
It's a lot of... what I like is how it's all, like, very relatable family sort of bickering and talking, but about, eating people
Murder.
and killing people, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
And
Dexter-ish.
the comedy feels lighthearted. So like it really helps with the comedic timing.
This movie
I enjoy
juggles.
it.
Oh, very
it
much so.
juggles like the dark, fucked up premise with
Yeah.
lighthearted comedy very well. This is a good example of a movie that pulls off a comedy horror, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I'd say dark
I think that-
comedy. It's
Yeah.
or whatever the
Sure.
It's weird.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily call this like a comedic horror, but the family is super comedic, if that makes sense. Whereas in like this almost feels like almost sitcom level hijinks. Like
Right.
I think
talking.
it's a horror
comedy
comedy in the same way that
feels
like Scream
lighthearted.
is a horror comedy. Like some people call
Yes.
Scream a horror comedy.
Yes. Sure.
I feel like if you call Scream a horror comedy, you could call this a horror
The
comedy.
tone
too.
is
I would
very
put it in the
strange
same.
to me.
I would agree and put it in the same category. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe calling it a horror comedy is a stretch too far. But
Yeah. Maybe it's not like Tucker and Dale.
no, it's definitely not.
It's
that.
a horror with comedy, not a comedy with horror.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Yes, there
Sure.
we go.
And
Okay.
when people say horror comedy, they typically mean like Tucker and Dale or something like
And
that.
I'm a whore for
Sure.
horror comedy.
I
Yeah.
like some too.
So they're talking about what's going on. This is when Keith says Kathleen's just upset because one of them plays piano. Does she really think she's crushing her dreams? These people are low lives. We get the title.
Ooh,
Right.
He said the name of the
thing.
movie.
He
He
said
said
the
it.
I do want to say
Yeah.
real quick for the title of the movie for the listeners. It's Lowlifes.
Yes.
Right.
Just I want
No,
because
Low
I keep doing the
Lives.
same thing. I keep saying low lives, and everyone's like, "What's that?" And then they find a different movie, and I'm like, "No,
Right.
low lives, my bad." Like, and it's all one word, I think, too. They titled
Yeah,
this
Lowlifes.
It is.
interesting,
Mhm.
interesting title.
Kathleen asks if Keith brought the gun, and this causes division between them. He says he's throwing away her pills when she get back because they're making her weak. Keith leaves the room, and she immediately takes some pills.
Right.
Now Savannah's tucking in Paw, more character development. She asks if something is off about the LA family, and he asks if she thinks they're going to kill them one by one and burn that house down.
Oof.
And then they laugh.
Oof, oof.
Keith and Jeffrey have a heart-to-heart. Seems like everyone but Keith knows Amy is gay. Jeffrey definitely seems unhinged, and Keith tells him to stay put and wait for the signal. As soon as he leaves,
He
he
puts
starts
on a
putting on the
glove.
gloves.
Yeah.
Dude,
His
this
murdering
kid
gloves.
can't stop murdering, bro.
This kid is a murder machine. He's a shark already.
Yeah, he's got
You know?
like
Mhm.
doll's eyes. He
Right,
can't even.
yeah.
He can't even.
Well, even
This
the-
kid doesn't have a soul.
no,
well, even,
It's already evident.
even
that's
the-
why I said
mom
traumatized.
bra-
I think from an early age of doing this and like being in this family, he's so beyond traumatized. He's indoctrinated.
conditioned.
He's
Right.
brainwashed,
He's indoctrinated.
and
well, it's that mom brings it up, which is a really good point, where it's like, she goes, we really have to like watch out for him because he's 16. He thinks he's literally invincible. And he's like, this is not a good scenario for him to be in, because which makes more sense, because if they're only killing like homeless people and drifters and hitchhikers, like this now home invasion would be kind of out of their league, not out of their league, but a completely different territory where it's like our son could get really hurt doing
I
this.
really want to stick to the home invitation angle on this because they were invited in. I'm just saying, I want to stick to this. It's a good counterbalance for the Chuddles because y'all just got out of home invasion, and this is a home invitation.
Well, technically in Mother, they were invited in by God.
By one of them.
So I guess that wouldn't be home invasion either.
Just one.
Savannah didn't invite him in. I'm just saying. You can definitely scoop it into home
I'm baring
invasion.
my teeth.
This is the noise he makes. He wants to appear threatening, folks.
We cut to Vern out the road. We see that he's decided to stop waiting for Billy, and he's going to hit the road with the shotgun. Oh, I also like when we're given the red herring with them earlier, we see the like bloody tarps in the back of their truck.
Oh,
That's
dude,
like their business, which they were skinning something, right?
it's just
They were out
pelts
hunting,
or
man.
something. Yeah.
a second watch
Yeah.
or even a third, but I'm only on my second. The value is just coming back to you once you know, and once you watch it again. Hell yeah, a lot of stuff to see again.
So now Savannah finds Amy in her room talking on her cell phone with her girlfriend. Thought you didn't have a cell phone.
Cell phone.
Well, there's not
Oh,
much
just low
battery
battery.
left. Hit her with the Riz. And she's like, all right, seduce this girl now.
Right.
And in my notes, I wrote hit her with the Riz. And on the soundtrack, the song that plays at this part is called Amy's Riz.
No,
which I loved.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
So Savannah has a lot of archery trophies. We get a nice romancing scene with a dope song. That dope song that I put here is actually called Dreams. Cut to Julianne throwing up in the toilet. I like
love
how
the
it like, builds to
juxtaposition.
that. Yeah.
Love it.
And I love it's a shame how it turns out because I love Amy and Savannah's like little
Same.
romance that they're having.
I was
too. I thought it was
really
awesome.
fucking bummed. I was really bummed and upset about this. I just wanted her
Once we get there,
Yeah,
where
we'll
the
get
third
there.
where the third act goes,
Mhm.
I was
I was bummed.
disappointed.
Yeah.
So Big Mac needs to come in and throw up too, but he can't get in. So he runs outside and starts throwing up out there.
Right here, I desperately wanted like we got Big Mac. We've got a horizontal shot like against the backlit of like the moonlight, like going through the trees, and his silhouette's going to the bushes, and then he turns around and he drops his pants and squats, and then it cuts to another scene. No, I wanted it to cut away before, but I just
Before
thought
the shit.
I just thought that would be such a fun shot to choreograph, you know?
Honestly, the way that man is, but the way that Big Mac is waddling, I'm like, this guy's got to shit his pants.
Right.
I thought he was running towards like an outhouse or something like
Yeah,
that.
I
Where I'm
thought
like,
he was
this
gonna
man is just
shit.
going to poop everywhere.
It's like just one of those classic shots. He runs up on a hill. The moon is just giant in the background.
Right.
He's completely
Yeah.
silhouetted. And then from both ends,
Exactly.
you just see an explosion of liquid.
just projectile shitting and vomiting at the
He's
same
like
time.
he's like a quasar star just blasting.
God.
Amy and Savannah are back in bed with dope music again. They talk about their dreams. Amy kisses Savannah. We learn that Keith doesn't know Amy is gay because he is old-fashioned.
Yep.
Now Keith is creeping upstairs with an axe. Jeffrey has decided to take on Big Mac by himself. He puts up a fight, but when it looks like Big Mac has the upper hand, he starts vomiting again and Jeffrey wins. Meanwhile, to distract Savannah from the noise she hears outside of Jeffrey killing Big Mac, she breaks out a joint.
That's laced with something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know that.
Hold on. No, we already got past the bathroom scene where she's rolling the joint and then she drops the eyeball behind
Yes,
the
yep,
toilet.
correct,
Right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jeffrey is caught by Keith and sent to his room for disobeying him, but it's all for show because, he's proud. Wait, but Keith... Okay, that's... Did I skip the note?
Where he axes the
Yeah,
grandpa
where he
on the head.
axes paw.
Mm.
I do
What
like
a
the fact that he's like
scumbag.
about to do it, and he's like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck?"
he gets distracted
kid?
by
and then he
the
turns
sun
around and goes,
outside. Yeah.
and he's like, "Keith," and then he goes, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, okay, yeah. I
He-
just somehow didn't write it, but yes, that is what happens.
He had to ask Grandpa a question.
Oh.
Hey, there you go.
Well, it makes sense that they were going to the meeting of the Juggalos because he is using a hatchet.
Yes, dude. Hell, the
Keith and Kathleen, yeah, it is a hatchet. I said axe. Keith and Kathleen argue about what to do about Jeffrey, and Keith takes Kathleen's pills from her. He strong arms her too. It gets a little DA.
Yeah, it's
Jeffrey-
shitty.
Yeah,
family values.
Jeffrey, but Jeffrey still can't clean up after himself, so Kathleen gets started. Amy and Savannah are still hooking up, and that's when we learn the joint is laced. Amy is it's seemingly about to go down on Savannah, but also secretly about to stab her when Savannah's like, this is too much for me, and pushes her off her. But Amy had the knife in her hand, so she stabs herself in the
She's
back
the
of the
ultimate
leg.
ghost face, bumbly,
Another funny
stumbly,
moment.
bumbly
Dude,
fucker right here.
Getting stabbed to the fucking hilt in the back of your thigh.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know.
Big time
Ow.
ouch.
I literally saw that and I was like, oh,
It don't
God.
hurt
It's just
that
like,
bad. Y'all are wusses.
We've eaten enough people and stabbed ourselves enough. We know.
Close
we-
enough.
We done
Ricky's
been
bu-
through the ringer, you know.
Ricky's a big boy who can get stabbed to the hilt.
Deep. Very deep.
Oh yeah, super deep. Leave it in too.
Savannah goes to the garage for the first aid kit. While out there, she sees Kathleen and Keith sneaking out of the RV. She overheard a suspicious conversation and then looks inside the RV, finds Billy's hat and Big Mac's body. Simultaneously, Julianne is still throwing up, but finds the eye bag next to the toilet. She then finds Pa with a splitting headache right as Keith catches her.
That's a
It
very
made me so
eye-opening
mad
scene for her.
when Grandpa
Yeah.
got it, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'm mad.
I heard you, Ross.
Thank you.
Keith brings Julianne to Kathleen for her to kill her. Oh yeah, Keith's like, all right, you got to kill this one. She's like, all right, Jeffrey, go away. And he's like, no, I want him to see you kill her. And then he's very
Let's
turned
stop-
on
let's
that
stop-
Kathleen wants to kill her, and they start making
Let's
out,
stop
which
fucking
makes
around.
Jeffrey very uncomfortable. Yeah. She's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking kill her. Thwomp! Arrow straight through the throat.
Bruh.
Mom gets it.
My
Okay.
favorite part of the movie.
So
Yeah.
Love this moment.
this
This scene.
this moment is fucking dope.
Hell
And
yeah.
I immediately was like, "Oh shit, this is like a Your Next thing." Now this fucking
Yeah.
Savannah's going to
Mhm.
fucking systematically hunt down these fucking people.
Exactly.
And
I know. I'm with you. I
Wish
wish.
that
I
happened.
wish. I wish.
I wish that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
This is where I thought it was gonna, and I was like, I was so ready for it.
This is where
Yeah.
the third act for me goes into a wild, spontaneous, up and down trajectory of roller coaster ride awesomeness, where I'm like, I think it's going to go this way. Then it goes this way. Then I'm like, okay, I think it's going to go this way, but then it goes that way. And I'm like, God damn. And
What about the other way?
but if it would have went the other way, I would have been pissed.
it's like a fucking Wonka Vader.
Hell, it can go both ways if it wants. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I do for this movie. Family values. I wanted it to go my way. No, but for the
All right, so Amy comes downstairs to find Mom dead. I don't need to hear about the different ways some more. Amy blames Keith. Amy blames Keith, the dad, for this because these victims aren't lowlives. They argue and regroup. Now they have Julianne tied up and want her to call out for Savannah. Start cutting her to get her to call out. Keith even breaks a finger. Savannah sneaks back into the house, bow and arrow in hand, and she uses Amy's cell to call the police, but it like cuts out before she gets much out. Like, we're at the Cleary house. They're dead or something like that. Now, the deputy from earlier calls into his superior about checking out the Cleary place. Yeah. Go ahead, Ross.
See, okay, so this is where it kind of unravels for me a little bit, is that the 911 call is because she says her name and she says this family came into the house and like people are dead. And that's where, like, I mean, again, obviously, in my suspenders of disbelief can be kind of like shifted a little bit, but like it seemed like she got enough across during the call to insinuate that a family had invaded their home.
I didn't think so.
You know what I mean? Maybe.
I feel like she's like, they're all dead. We're at the Cleary place, and then it like cut out. I thought was what was said.
I don't remember. After two
watch
watches, I don't know specifically either what was said on the 911 call.
Either way, I feel like ambulances and policemen should have been there quick.
But this arrow through the neck scene from a moment ago, I just wanted to reiterate, was amazing. And the dad immediately being like, she's gone.
She's gone. Get over it.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like clear into his
I figured that
psychopathy. But for the film, I was just like, I thought he'd have more of a, because he's a very controlling fucker.
A nuanced psychopath.
I thought he was going to be, and he wasn't. He was just straight up, I'm going into kooky land in the next minute and cooking meat in the fucking kitchen and being like, oh.
Putting on a chef's hat.
Yeah, and
I'm turning even more into a cartoon.
Yeah,
Fuck
like,
it.
goddamn. Which I love that, but at the same time,
it was fun.
It wasn't where I thought it was going to go. So that's why I was like, oh, shit. It kind of left that scene a little less impactful for me. I still love the gore effect, but the dad going overboard, which is still a 10, also at the same time is not a 10. So I'm all.
Is it like a wait? Is it like a 5?
No, it's never a 5. Never a 5 for Travis.
You heard it here. It's a 5.
The only 5.
Everything else you say, edit it out.
Darkness Falls.
That's it. That's true.
I gave it.
You could.
It's a 5. It's so mediocre. God damn it. It's
I'm just gonna
right in
take
the
that.
middle.
That's my new favorite clip now. It's a 5.
It's a 5.
So defeated.
So the deputy's gonna come check it out.
Yeah.
As
he should.
At this point, I was like, all right, I got to remember that he's gonna show up like at the last second here, and I fucking did not. Even though I knew that it would be coming by the time we got there. I wasn't thinking about it. So Keith starts yelling out the door when Savannah appears inside the house with a knife to Jeffrey's throat. Amy convinces Savannah to drop the knife. Amy approaches Savannah sweetly, but then throws her to the ground. Jeffrey starts pouring gas around the house.
Family.
Mm-hmm. Keith is cooking in the kitchen. He tries to serve Big Mac to the sisters, who are now both tied up. Keith mocks
with the
them.
severed hand.
Yeah.
It's fucking so gross.
He puts it up in front of her and says Mac on the knuckles. He's like, oh, she can read.
Oh.
So you've already shot an arrow through the mom's throat. And I get that your sister is being held captive, but also I don't know if I would do. I feel like the bargaining there should have. There's something should have happened.
Very poor decision.
She shouldn't have went back into the house. Like, that's her fucking mistake. She never should have went into the house.
Because I think that was one of the only things where like that hostage situation was like, oh, damn it.
Terrible negotiation skills. Just hated how that was handled.
I just wanted to go full fucking Rambo.
This is the uneducated part of the Southern people you're seeing here. They might be witty.
That is
and they might be dangerous.
Are you saying, Trav? Are you saying this is the dangers of Southern hospitality? It's like, all right.
The dangers of Southern hospitality is you're going to get your whole family killed for inviting these nice folk in who look like they're from out of town. But I'll tell you what,
I'm scared of the tasty looking city folk.
Keith mocks them, says it's time for finger food, and cuts off Julianne's thumb.
Damn.
I like the line where he's like, I'm not really into fingers, but God, I could go for a really tasty thumb.
I agree, Ross.
I agree with that.
I agree too. You were frozen, not pooping. Sorry.
Oh,
you've been fine for the most part.
I was going to say, I've been dealing with 5 to 10 second gaps. This is going to be a nightmare for you.
We're good.
So sorry.
Keith says something to Savannah about her fingers and how important they are for piano and plucking a bow and arrow. And Savannah says, Amy knows about the importance of fingering.
Right.
Which leads to her telling him they've had sex and your daughter's a lesbian.
She's like,
Blair's a girl. She also smokes weed and laces it with stuff.
She's like, oh, you think you know who Blair is? Blair ain't no boy.
Right,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too. You think,
Yeah.
who the fuck you think Blair is? Not a dude.
The
that's
dad
for
was
sure.
like, no wonder we never met Blair. I thought you were just
He
embarrassed
takes his
of us.
glasses off like an
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were gonna say it, Travis. He thought that she was embarrassed of him.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mhm.
No, dude.
Rocked his world.
And what my
Yep.
favorite part, my favorite line is like he starts going
Coming
off
up.
about how he's like, that's so disgusting and everything. And I'm like, lesbians are disgusting, bruh. What are you even
Mhm.
saying right now to me? Because the whole movie, up until about now, I like the dad a lot. I think he's cool. I don't agree with everything he's about, but I think he's a
I
good
like him.
character. This
Yes,
is the part
yeah.
where he loses me, and I'm like, bro, how can you be into eating people and all this shit,
Exactly.
but you're not about like
I love how their
just-
family can talk about killing people
Yeah.
and eating people,
Totally.
lesbianism
not-
is off
not
the table.
sex.
Lesbianism is off the
It's-
table.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Well, I think it's just because he embodies this like quintessential like 50s era ideals of what a fucking
Right.
family
Oh,
should
yeah.
be.
Sure.
And unfortunately, that I guess also includes like the 1950s homophobia, which
And
is like
drugs.
it's
And
drugs,
yeah.
which is like, I mean, like obviously I was like, oh god, but then also it's like it's so on par for this character.
It
and
is.
also he's so fucking batshit crazy. Of course, he's gonna stop trying to murder these people to reprimand his
Oh.
daughter in the middle of a fucking home invasion.
Dude, it's so fucked. I do like
Yeah, he would have killed everyone when he went to the vaults and Fallout. Like, he would have been one of those guys. Yeah,
I wish I knew what that
he'd have
meant.
fit in real good till he killed
It
everyone.
depends which
Yeah.
vault he was placed in.
Sure.
That's very true.
I'm sure that's good humor there.
I'm with you, Sam. I don't know what they're saying,
I have
but
no idea, yeah.
I'm there.
Family. So they argue. While they're arguing, Savannah unties herself and stabs Keith in the eyeball with a fork.
Brad.
Can we talk about real quick
Great scene.
the scene where he's like, can I cut off so he's got the one sister tied up and he's threatening the other sister, Savannah and Julianne, and he's like, well, hold on, this doesn't make no sense. You play piano, so I should be cutting off your fingers. He's like,
Right.
I wonder how many fingers counts to play the piano, or better yet, what fingers counts to throw the practice the bow and arrow. And he's like, all of them. And I'm like, damn, this is the tension building in the movie, like these scenes, like these moments that I'm like, fuck, dude.
So
I also go ahead.
I was going to
Go
say,
ahead,
Sam, direct question to you.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that this movie was more mean-spirited than Hush in a lot of respects.
Oh shit.
I don't think it's
like-
mean spirited at all.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
There you go.
That's not
There
right.
you go.
That's all I
I'm
need to
somewhere
know.
in between your opinions. Yeah. How about
Hush is like, hey, deaf and mute woman, I'm going to torture you all night until I decide to kill you. And this is like, hey, we're a nice family that's going to pop out and surprise you with a kill until the end here, which is just most slasher movies.
But
like,
I don't know.
lead up to this type of thing.
So I just don't want us to gloss over the fact that the best line in the movie comes right here when the daughter finally has enough of her dad and stands up to him and says, I would rather eat pussy than people.
Yes.
I
That's a
just,
good
for
one.
me, that line
That's a
was
great
the
fucking
moment I
line.
was like
Yes!
applauding.
I agree 100%.
And that's when and with what happens later, this is why I
Yeah.
became so disappointed. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
Also,
sorry, continue.
When Keith gets the eye fucking stab, that was fucking rad. Like, I was like,
That was fun.
This is
Well, that was
fantastic.
fun as hell. Because then he pulls it out and
it was just
eats
super
it.
fun.
Yeah, dude.
Yes!
The dad is tough.
Yeah,
he's like Mick Foley,
That is
Big Van Vader level tough.
Imagine
full on cannibal stuff right there. I think we just
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking
imagine
broke
you
Sam.
got stabbed in the eye, and what's the first thing you fucking do?
Eat it.
Eat your own fucking eye to prove?
As a true cannibal should.
No, is
Yeah.
That's
I
a
was gonna say,
scary ass, dude. I'm just
that
saying.
like is that like a cannibal version of eating your own boogers?
Yes, dude.
yeah, bro.
That's
Well,
like
no, I feel like a cannibal version of eating your boogers would be like eating scabs
eat
or
someone
some
else's
shit.
boogers.
dude, he's
Oh, that's
right?
true.
Like it's got to be like
Yeah.
a little thing you can pick at on yourself and eat little bits of yourself.
like Goldmember.
Sure.
Yeah, like little bits of. That's
Ooh,
exactly
just
what I was
short-
thinking. Flakes of skin.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
shave that
that's
for
a- that's a
later.
good one. Yeah, I'm gonna shave
Yeah, put that in the box,
Oh,
dude.
that's a nice one.
Oh man,
Yes.
Oh, that's a
he was
nice
self
one.
cannibalizing, dude. That is amazing. I never even I saw it twice and I didn't even consider self cannibalism.
Goldmember from Austin Powers was just self-cannibalizing himself.
Oh my god.
Yes,
what we got,
That's
too.
right. I also like this sound when he pulls it out because it's not like a full like,
Right.
but it's close. Like it's one of those where I'm like,
Fulci is
You see the
applauding in
blood
his
squirt
grave.
out
Mm.
behind it.
It's a good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fulci's coming in his grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we keep
yeah.
mentioning it, and I'll keep mentioning because it's worth repeating. The gore and the special effects in this is just
Oh yeah.
so much
Good.
fun.
Are
I
great.
loved all of it.
Great.
The
Awesome.
fucking arrow.
No complaints.
Oh, was so
No
good.
The
problems.
arrow was my favorite too.
Like I loved it. Sorry. But yeah, this is a heavy scene of a lot going on here. I mean, we mentioned 100 different things.
So he pulls it out and eats it, and I think this might be around the pussy people thing because I thought that was right before Vern bursts in because this is when Vern busts in and
Says,
shoots
"What's
Keith
that
in the shoulder.
noise?" Yeah.
Okay, so
Or maybe it's
yeah.
right when he gets stabbed in the eye. It could.
Yeah,
it's
I
one of
think
the
so.
two.
The eye, it comes out.
yeah.
It's right
Yeah.
before that because she's getting her shackles, her ropes loose right as she's saying
While they're
that.
arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he pulls it out and eats it, and he's like, but I bet yours is even sweeter to Savannah about the eye. So Keith and Vern are struggling, and Savannah and Jeffrey are struggling. They're both kind of fighting in different rooms. Vern seems to have the upper hand, but Keith gets a knife and he gets stabbed to the hilt in the side of the head, while Savannah breaks Jeffrey's neck, maybe, or his throat or something, but kills him.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would agree. Yeah.
I don't understand in this scene too why Vern hesitates so much with shooting either
Yeah.
the dad again or when the son comes in shooting the son immediately.
Well, he comes in and then
He turns around and then he
Yeah.
stares at him for a second, and then
Yeah.
the daughters
And Savannah's like,
are
"Shoot him."
shoot him, and then he stands for a second, and then he gets knocked on the back of the head by the dad.
no, no,
because
Or-
he's
No.
Vase
by
or
the
whatever.
vase,
Brian.
with the vase
Yeah,
by
the
somebody.
dog-
Brian,
No,
he shot someone. I
he
forget
shoots
who.
the dad. The dad
Keith
goes
in the shoulder.
falls
then-
back. He
and then-
turns around because the son comes in.
Yes, and then who gets hit over the head with the vase? It's him.
Vern does in a
Yeah.
moment
Yeah,
Vern
after
does.
it
he-
must be
Okay.
Amy, maybe.
Yeah.
See, Brian,
It could
this
be
is
the
what
dad.
happens when you get too geeked out on crickets. Is that it actually delays your
oh man,
timing.
the crickets are really kicking in.
They're out there just fucking chirping and
These
shit.
crickets are kicking in, dude.
Sorry guys,
Am I
I'm
at-
having trouble following what you're saying. I've had too many
I
crickets.
can't follow the space-time continuum right now. The crickets are kicking
oh
in.
my god.
Space crickets.
So right after Vern gets killed, Keith is still laying there on the floor, and Julianne comes up behind him with a sledgehammer and says, "A little off the top,
Off the
right?"
top.
Because that was the haircut thing from
Yes.
earlier, and we get a real sweet brain mashing head mashing
Fuck
with the sledgehammer.
He's like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Sledgehammer.
Oh,
There it
He's
is.
like,
I was
"Ah,
waiting-
shit."
I was
Peter
waiting
Gabriel,
for someone to
baby.
do it.
Yeah,
This is
dude.
the appropriate moment.
Can't not.
So this is
Yeah.
again after you've murked the dad. I'm surprised they didn't immediately check on the daughter, the serial killer daughter, to see if she was also dead because she just gets knocked over, right? Like she doesn't actually get like
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
not even the implication of being fatally wounded.
I
would
don't even know what
immediately
happened to her
Right.
Yeah,
at this point.
This is the third act falling apart a little bit. Just saying.
yeah.
So Amy recovers because we do see her on the floor kind of coming to, and she takes the knife out of Vern's head. And right when Julianne tells Savannah, like, I know you like girls and I'm fine with that, gets stabbed in the back by Amy, which if any of the family might still be alive, I think Julianne could still be alive.
Oh, sure. She
'cause,
just gets
she
a little
got
stabbed,
deweyed.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
at least up to that point. Maybe not until the structure fire,
Oh
but
yeah,
for
I guess
sure.
she got
crawled
crawled out
or
inside the
something.
house.
The cop could have come in and fucking shot her in the head too.
Shot her in the face. Yeah.
Fuck this girl.
So
She got the Freddy face, and then they Night of the Living Dead at her.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
So now Savannah and Amy are fighting. Savannah smashes Amy's face in the piano
She's
a few
like, "I'm
times,
so
and
over
I am
you."
so over you. Yeah, with each hit,
Yeah.
like screaming it from the inside, and
Like a Taylor Swift song.
And then she fucks
Yes.
up big time.
she grabs the sledgehammer and says, "I'm gonna make this slow. Run. Amy starts running. Savannah chases Amy outside. Gets shot in the head by the deputy.
Yeah.
Which is like so
Night of the Living Dead.
fucking it is. It's very Night of the Living Dead. It's also like very confusing to me because it's like
He saw this girl running down the stairs, bleeding and screaming.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
and then he saw this other one chasing her with a hammer.
This other person he knows that girl, that woman. He knows.
He
these
knows that
people.
girl.
But he sees violence happening to someone else, and like I think Sam said a minute ago, and I'm going off just what Sam said because I don't remember what they said in the movie. That all they got out was that they're all dead. We're at the McCleary house, so the guy showed up knowing that the McClearys in this county are a problem because that's what we've been told the whole movie is that this family is a problem. Then
I mean, his last interaction he had with one of them, the guy said, I could blow your head
Yeah.
off right now and nobody would know about it.
So he's like, this family sucks. And then he sees this innocent person, according to him, from LA or wherever, Calabasas, getting chased down the goddamn steps, and he shoots her right in the head. To me, the ending makes sense. Like with the deputy doing what he did.
Yeah, I
But-
mean that makes sense. Cops be shooting. I guess you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But I
do
feel-
be
but I
shot.
feel like
Yeah.
See somebody chasing somebody with a sledgehammer and you're a cop, you're probably going to shoot the person with the sledgehammer.
I guess
It ma-
you're
if
not
you know
wrong.
them.
Then in the
It-
sense of this, in
right.
a real world sense, I guess it makes sense. But in a fun fantasy narrative sense, I didn't enjoy it. That part, I did. The people that I liked most in this movie were the family that died. I did not like what is supposed to be our. I guess is she our main character? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's an ensemble movie.
I think it's. I think I agree with both of y'all. I think it is an ensemble, but I do think she's supposed to be our thread throughout the whole film. And I also agree with Brian. Like, I don't like how this turns out and it's because of everything that was built up before. But I'll save that. But
Same.
yeah,
it's also kind of an interesting thing too, because like she's going to get caught at this point. Like it's very, I don't know. Even after the cop shows up, and then I'll get to that. Sam, you can do your thing.
Amy's sitting in the back of the cop car. He calls into the station. All the blame goes on the Clearys. Deputy goes to investigate a strange noise, and Amy sparks a doob in the car. She then gets out and kills him. Final shot. Amy starts up the RV and takes off. The
Dubin.
end.
Yeah. So she's got like Billy's hat. She's doing this, but like, how are you going to explain your entire family burning alive or burnt in the house? The RV, like, I feel like after this point, she's definitely going to get caught.
Explain to who?
I mean, she killed a deputy. I'm assuming that cops will be showing up to this house and uncovering all of
the
these
thing
bodies.
is though is that they don't. Well, they're all.
But no one knew that cop was going
I'm not
there,
as concerned about that.
Except for the chief.
except
I
for the
guess.
chief.
They're not-
And the
they're all
chief
burned up.
wasn't expecting to hear back from him like until the next day if something happened.
Yeah.
So the chief's not worried. So no one's going to find out till the next day. You know what I mean? Till the next morning. She's got at least a couple of hours to get the fuck out of there and steal a car.
Go ghost.
Or
I'm not
whatever,
rooting for her. It's not like I do like her character and the actress, and I like the fact that she lived and the other girl died, because that is not what you want to happen
Right.
or are rooting for.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I'm sorry, their relationship what I thought was their relationship actually blooming turned out to be that girl just being a psychopath.
Yeah,
Right.
They're the Capulets and the not the
Montagues?
Capulets.
Shakespeare.
Well, do you think she actually had feelings for?
I think
girl-
she
I-
wanted.
I don't think so.
I thought
She at least wanted to
she
bang her.
wanted to.
Oh,
for
sure.
Based on her dream,
I think
that scene where they say
well-
they have dreams, and
She
And
does
they
get
say what they
vulnerable
want.
with her.
yeah, I think
country girl wants to get out of there, and she wants a different life, a normal life. I'm like, okay, are y'all just gonna say
I
fuck
always-
all this shit and run away together?
Yeah, that's
Because
what I thought.
Well,
That's where I was going,
Yeah.
and
But it
that's
does
kinda-
seem
I
like
just-
she is
maybe-
going to kill her in the bed, but gets thrown off.
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah,
just feel
right,
like
it's
the
right,
different.
I thought-
off.
Also, I skipped over it, but when she's bandaging her up, she pulls out the knife and is about to
Again,
stab
yeah.
her in the back, but she
And
kisses
then
her on the
doesn't.
forehead and decides not
She's
to.
like, whoa.
Yes,
So I
Yes.
think she is conflicted about it
Right.
until she
I
kills
think-
her
well,
mom.
It's also this is
Right.
the first time that they're killing
Gotcha.
an entire family. You know what I mean? And they bring that up in dialogue too, where it's like this isn't just some fucking drifter. Like this is like we came into a family's house. We're murdering an entire family. Like, these aren't really like low lives like you're trying to display them. You know, but I feel like each one of the family members is also like a different kind of killer.
Right.
Like the son is a complete psychopath, just like no one of those, like not a spree killer, but like a complete disregard for their own safety and just goes out and fucking kills. The dad is unorganized killer, and then the dad is way more sophisticated and systematic and has rules and signals and stuff like that. I feel like the daughter is almost like a thrill killer, as in like she gets off on the fact that she's getting off with this person and then murdering them.
Wow.
And then the mom is more of like this neurotic kind of murderer.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like
definitely.
That's interesting.
And it's
like-
definitely
it-
generational too, because I feel like it being the grandpa's RV indicates that like
They've
Keith,
been
the
doing
father,
it for a
grew up
long
doing this
time,
with his
yeah.
dad.
Right.
It's like a long held family tradition.
Hell yeah.
Which I wonder how he meets his wife. Like, how do
He
you
just
clue
found
her
a
into
crazy,
what you're doing?
traumatized, neurotic woman and was like, "Yeah, that one's mine.
you never-
I can deal with
who was unmedicated.
Have you
at the
never?
time.
Have you
Right.
never
Like,
been
I
on?
don't like it
I
when
can-
you're on your medication.
Have you never been on
Right.
Cannibal Tinder?
About to be.
Just saying.
Well, how about we go ahead and take our break before we come back to our crematorium of questions?
Hungry for a side of screams with your snacks? Well, fatso, sink your fangs into the Horror Junkies podcast, where terror tastes oh so delicious. Join us for a spine-tingling snack attack as we dish out horror movie reviews, gruesome gags, and enough scares to make your popcorn jump out of the bowl. Whether you're munching on monster munchies or devouring your favorite fear-inducing treats, our podcast will satisfy your cravings over all things creepy. So grab your snacks, dim the lights, and tune into the Horror Junkies podcast. It's a feast for the senses and your nightmares. And remember, the only thing scarier than our stories is running out of snacks.
Crematorium of questions. It's time to do them. How would we survive? How many of us would be
Oh,
sacrificed?
I'd die.
So
I'd survive. I'd
so
live.
this
Fuck
family-
all these people.
This family
Nope.
shows up at the house, and I'm like, "Yeah,
You're
come
fucking-
on in."
You're dead. You're dead. Sam,
So
I
I'm
love
the
you.
reason they
You're
got
so
invited
nice.
in our
I'm
house.
instantly
And then
living.
Ross and I are like, hang out.
We're the Samanthas. We're like, yeah, no, you guys are no.
I'll put it to you
You
this
can-
way.
you guys are like,
We're
"Aren't
about to have
these
dinner.
cannibals?"
You can hang out on the front porch while we call someone for you.
I think I could take any one of these fucking people, anyone
Yes.
in any
Yeah.
family,
Yep.
but I don't think I'd be
I'm not.
expecting it.
There's no way I'm surviving.
I don't think I'd be expecting it, and I think I would just get murked.
I'm not expecting it, and I'm definitely eating the
I'm
chocolate.
surviving.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna eat the chocolate.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna be
glad-
throwing up. They're gonna
I'm
kill
not
me,
eating the
dude.
chocolate. I'm not trusting the people.
I don't eat chocolate, so I'm in the
I'm
clear.
gonna be
baby.
like, oh man, I'm gonna make a Jim Jam coffee.
Jam,
or whatever it is.
A Jim Jam slam,
Something like that.
a Tim Tam slam,
Sam
Japan
slam.
Jim
A Jim
Sam
Jam Java?
Sapan Jam.
Next thing you know, coffee is sending me a toilet in a whole
I'm
new
gonna
way.
survive because I've seen this movie.
God.
Boom.
Right. I would if
I
again
would die.
the chocolate wouldn't get me. It would be the
I would die so fast.
That's it. No, I totally agree, Ross. That's
Yeah,
what you
that
should
was
do.
a good
100%.
comedy
Whatever you
you
said.
just made.
Whatever was
God
coming
damn
out of
it.
your mouth.
Whatever I just-
perfect
That was a
words.
Yeah, it's
banger
a banger
comedy
comedy.
right there.
Just
You laid out a
banger
banger comedy
God damn it.
there, Roos.
that's I call it my lag
I
comedy.
love it.
Should it be gooier? I think I would personally like a little more cannibalism goo.
Sure. For me, this is the kind of movie that's good enough to be gooier.
Oh yeah, I mean, like you could definitely ramp up the goo in it. I feel that you could probably, having him butcher part of the human body and then cook it, because obviously you see kind of a little bit of before, a little bit after.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
mean,
give me some of that. Give me some of that fresh, like that, like he's actually like trimming off of a human thigh or something like that.
I mean,
you
it
know?
looked good to me. I agree, dude. I was
It was
hungry.
good. It looked
Yeah.
it looked delicious.
I'm kind of good with the amount of goo in this movie. Like, I think it's serviceable.
I don't think it needs it.
I don't think
By
it
any
needs
means.
more.
Yeah.
I think it's fine with what it's doing. And normally I'm on the same page as you, Ross. Like, I'd like more goo. Like, I want more goo, more gore, more goo, more grease. But this movie doesn't have any grease unless you're cooking people in the kitchens.
No,
Yeah,
just like
except for
like
the fat,
Dad,
which is
Yeah,
the best
dude.
part.
which is the best part. No, I agree with the dad. I mean, like, did we oversalt this movie with gore? No, I think it's well seasoned.
I think the gore on the kills is great. I would just like a little more cannibalism.
Sure. This is the
Villain level 1 through 10. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say this is the kind of movie that could benefit, but it doesn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Power level, iconography, get your villain level. Brian. I'm our family, our cannibal family
Yeah.
is
No, sure. Yeah.
as a
no.
whole.
Yeah, it's tough. As a whole.
Icon level, that's gonna be low.
Yeah.
Yeah, iconography, what, a 1, if anything? Like, I don't, there's.
The
And
dad's
grunt
memorable.
level 2 at the most. At the most, being generous.
I give it a 3. Yeah, I'd say 3. Maybe being nice, like a 3.
being
to a 4,
nice
just
because the
there's
dad
4
is
of them.
so
Awesome.
fucking good at it. He's so cocky, but he's also so fucking smart. Like, he's just been through this shit for so long that
I like how Ricky
hard to
said
get around a guy like that.
I like how Ricky said he's the smart.
He's the smart. Yeah, dude.
I love, dude. You're speaking my language right now, bro. Because I'm
Yeah, bro.
struggling right now.
We're
I'm
on the
like,
same levels. We're on the same level, dude.
we always are.
Yeah,
Simpatico.
3-4 sound.
I think
Sounds
that's about
right
right.
to me.
I'd say
Yeah.
3 out of 3. That works.
Should it have a sequel? What's your sequel? I'd love a sequel that is like the brother, like some other part of the family, or maybe they were going to some sort of cannibal family reunion that they were headed to. But that doesn't. They probably still would have went to that and been like, "Look at this score we got on the way here." But I like a cannibal family, and I could
In
use
my
more of them.
sequel,
I don't necessarily want to follow whatever Amy's up to.
in my.
Maybe
Oh, sorry, Ross. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe a prequel where you see the grandpa and the dad.
sure.
You know what I mean? Where it's like almost like a how did the family get to be this way? But just a tidbit.
Oh,
Accidental murder, or maybe even like a Donner Party type thing. Like they were traveling, got snowed in, and they just fucking ate somebody. And we're like, this is really
Right.
good.
Ate some
We should
drifter.
Yeah, we should start
Or,
doing
like,
this all the
that's
time.
the only way they survived. So then after that, they just like something with like the guilt and whatever just drives them to keep doing it. I don't
Yeah.
fucking
My-
traumatized.
my sequel would be that it's Amy, right? The surviving daughter. She
Mhm.
goes to LA
Mhm.
and she goes and finds the college that Savannah or who? Which one played piano?
Savannah got
Yeah, she
Savannah.
goes and impersonates her and then starts killing off all the fucking like hoity-toity, like rich kid people, college kids. And then but then we get a police investigation fucking drama on top of it where they were fucking like, oh, we're tying the pieces together from this country murder to this city murder type shit. And so now we have, and this is what I love in a horror movie, is a goddamn procedural. Get the courtroom involved. I don't know why I love that, because I hate authority. But I like a good courtroom procedural. I love it.
It just feels good. Takes you back to your childhood when you're at grandma's house watching fucking Law and Order and shit.
Law and Order on
Sam I Am,
yeah.
Or whatever that movie was, yeah.
Or I Am Sam, one of those.
Would you buy the soundtrack or score on vinyl?
No.
I would in a heartbeat. I've been listening to it on Spotify.
I'd buy it on something else, but I don't have a vinyl player.
I wouldn't buy it.
You know, honestly, I can't give a real response because I didn't even pay attention to the soundtrack. I really probably should. You know what?
Pretty good.
I feel like I'll respond to it in the Discord because I need to go into Spotify and then, yeah.
If I'd have to edit the episode and hear the soundtrack back, nightclub style, probably, but not like this. I don't know.
Is anything action figure
Hell
worthy?
yeah. I want the goddamn split-ass grandpa head. I want Big Mac puking in the lawn, if I could have that as a diorama. I would also take the RV with all the dead, dismembered bodies in it as an action figure. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool. Otherwise, I really, I'm a huge fan of this movie, but no, I don't really think so.
Maybe Savannah with the bow and arrow playset could be fun.
Sure, it'd be like a cool.
She's like a failed Rambo.
Right.
I want to see her like running all bloody, holding the sledgehammer.
Oh, sure.
I guess it's kind of just more like merch from the movie. But if the RV was a mini fridge,
that's dope, dude. Yeah,
a freezer, a
little mini
you
freezer.
open it up and you got like little limbs sticking out, and that's your ice cubes and shit.
Hell yeah!
What merch / prop / promo item? We're kind of just talking about this mini freezer prop.
I want the bag of crickets. That's my prop.
I want the fucking RV.
No, honestly, I would do Lowlifes seasoning. Like a meat seasoning would be hilarious.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Like a rub.
Great promo item.
That would be good.
I love that. Good. I want Mac's arm with the match on his finger.
You want to make people throw up in the bathroom and then discover eyeballs in the bags?
Mm-hmm. Oh, an eyeball bag would be good too.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, any of the cute looking meat could be good. A good prop to have.
What is the popcorn bucket?
What is the what? I'm sorry.
Popcorn bucket.
Oh.
Bonus points if it's fuckable.
I would do
Pa's head.
What?
Yeah.
Split open.
Yes.
Or we can go full sadness and say the dad's head after it gets the eyeball stuck out.
I'm gonna say
post eyeball removal.
I'm gonna say the bag of crickets again.
All right, let's mosey on down the road to our ratings.
I only want your fingers.
Should we all cut our fingers open and bleed on it?
Can you wrap your fingers around this?
I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason's fingers.
Show them.
On this show, we use a rating scale of 0 to 5 fingers. Each finger represents a different quality about a movie. You can chop off half a finger as well as no fingers. These ratings are intended to be subjective on how we feel about a movie. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Brian.
Show us some fingies.
I love that. I want to say I love y'all's transition into the fingers, and I love all the fucking audio cues, man. It's so dope. It's a 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Fingering. All right, let me get this one going with engaging. I will give that a 0.75. I was pretty much fully engaged. There are just moments for whatever reason that I was pulled out. But pretty much in there for the most part. I liked most of what I was seeing. Sticky, I'll probably give it a 0.5. Yeah, that sounds good. T-shirtable, I'd say that can swing around to a 0.5 as well. I mean, it could certainly go higher. There's enough cool imagery that you could do with this here, and I'd have no problem wearing a t-shirt for it. Cockles, I'll give a 0.5 as well. I feel like it was kind of there. I mean, there's moments that I really liked. I mean, I thought the movie was shot beautifully. The cinematography, the music, the score, the vibes to it were pretty cool for it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then rewatchable, probably 0.5 as well. Why not? I think it's just kind of sit right there in the middle, which works. 2.75.
Cool.
All
2.75.
right. Not bad. I feels all right.
Sure. Rooster Pooster.
Engaging's going to get a 1. Even though I feel like the third act turns into like a slip and slide of plot, I was still thoroughly engaged throughout. You know what I mean? Sticky, man, a lot of this is going to kind of, it's an echo chamber, what Brian was saying. I'd probably say that like Sticky's going to be a 0.5 for me. I feel that like there's certain things that really stuck. But others I feel like I'm going to know what this movie is about 5 years from now, but I don't know I don't know. T-shirtable. T-shirtable is going to get, honestly, originally I had T-shirtable as a 0.25, just because I think I'm probably going to bump it up to a 0.5 though. Cause I feel like if you had a decent enough idea for a shirt, it would be kind of enticing. I just feel that like, I think this kind of leads into the iconography and villain level, as in like, they're not iconic enough for me to put them on a shirt, but if you had some kind of like grindhouse poster looking thing that.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, look at the poster. The poster to me is that exactly.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like something around those lines, I feel like you could definitely get away with a shirt. Cockles. Yeah, I think Cockles is going to get a 0.5 for me too. I think Cockles is like, it hits some of the notes and then some of it falls a little flat. I don't know. There's some decisions and stuff like that. And I think it goes into key where like kind of being able to guess what's going on in the first like 10 minutes of this movie. I feel like
less than.
Yeah. I feel like it was cool and I'm glad that I was right, but it also deducted the Cockles for me because I was like, oh, okay. Which doesn't negate that I really did enjoy this movie, and I thought it was a really fun ride throughout. And I'll probably give Rewatchable a 0.75 because I've only seen this once. I feel like I probably will revisit this movie specifically. I mean, it's on Tubi, it's free, it's great. I'll probably watch this again just to really kind of get a full flushing of the whole movie. You know what I mean? Where it's like for the idea of the pod, I mean, for the podcast, I watched it once and then revisited a few key scenes, but I feel like I really would get a good like seasoning of like 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'll give it a 0.75 because I mean, like, this isn't like it would be like, oh, twist my arm, I get to watch like Lowlifes again. I would absolutely watch Lowlifes again. Like, it's a good, like, I feel like it's a fun enough ride that I'm not going to be overly upset that I have to watch it again. You know?
So 3.25.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think that's good. Yeah, because I had it in my head between like a 3 and a 3.5 because it's a great ride. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's perfectly right in the middle then.
Yeah,
nice.
All right, time for mine. It's a 5 for me. Boom. I'm not gonna go through the fingers. My cockles overfloweth. I don't know what if the other fingers would all be 1s necessarily, but my cockle, whatever's coming out of my cockle finger, would fill in the void of those other ones.
So you're pulling a Keith on a piano player and taking all the fingers.
The music, the shots, the lighting, the characters, the dialogue, the way it all develops, I didn't see any of it coming, and I don't like that the villain, one of the villains kinds of wins, or the whole ending thing, but I do like it. I like that people don't like it and think it's unfair. And
there's a little edgelord
again,
over
the
here.
music.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
it's fun to be one.
There's something about it. It's the Night of the Living Dead thing.
Yeah,
too,
yeah. Sometimes
that was the first thing I thought as soon as it happened.
What?
But I feel like it'd be
fun
Night
to
of
be
the
an
Living Dead if
edgelord.
they both died. If he came in and killed everyone, it's like if like the Night of the Living
They
Dead.
just work.
But whatever. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, it just works for me.
What were you saying, Travis?
All of it.
I asked Ricky. I said it's fun to be an edgelord, huh?
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
sometimes.
it is.
Fuck it.
Sometimes.
You know, hey,
Fuck them. Fuck them
I don't know
all.
what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't have anything to say for myself. You'd think I'd be embarrassed, but I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm just sad.
Also, I said
Aw.
I'm not sure on the other fingers if they'd all be ones. They'd all be 0.75s to ones, so it's close enough. I'm just
Yeah, sure.
you know, going for it. So, T-Boo.
Engaging. 1 point. Fully engaged both times. I've seen this movie twice, and I was engaged the first time because I didn't know what I was getting into. Second time, I knew what I was getting into, and it rewarded me with subtle hints and nuances that were just laden throughout the whole film. Sticky. I will remember this movie. I will remember a lot of the scenes and the back and forth. I'll give that a 1. T-shirtable. This is where I'm going to give it a 0.25. I don't care about having a shirt for this movie, but if you give me a cool shirt, I'll wear it. So that's where I'm at with that. Like, I don't know. I could give it a 1. I could tell you why I could give it a 1. You could have an RV coming into the shirt, and then there's like limbs coming out and whatever else. But
Sure, yeah, I'd take the
Right.
family. I'd take. There's so many.
but I'm gonna
things
give
I'd
it a
take,
0.25, but it ain't gonna matter for my final score. What's after T-shirtable? It's cockles. Cockles
yeah.
1. It's milked hard all the way through. Even though I don't like the third act necessarily, like how you said, Sam, I'm still with you didn't want it to be the way you thought it was going to be, but guess what, bitch? It ain't that way. Fuck you.
Because I forgot the first watch. I forgot that deputy was coming. When she says "run to her," I'm like, "Yeah, fucking go get her!" And like,
Yeah.
it'll probably lead to a little more of a struggle between the two. And you know what?
I did for
Savannah will win, but didn't happen.
I did see kind of that like the Night of the Living Dead thing. I'm not gonna lie, like
I should have known it was coming. Like I said, when the deputy made the call, I was like, "Gotta remember he's coming back."
Right. But the movie, you know what? The movie is so good. It doesn't matter if you remember it or not. So for Cockles, it's a 1. Cockles, it's a 1. And for rewatchable, I would 1 all day. Give this a rewatch. Recommend to watch it with friends. I would love to watch this with people who have not seen it yet. That's the best part, and you get to see them react to it. And so for my little 0.25, whatever bullshit, I don't know what my Chuddle score. What's my Chuddle score at this point?
4.25.
4.25. It feels good. It feels good. And if I'm going to do it on a nightclub scale, I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Near perfect. I don't have problems with it except for at the ending. But that's not enough for me to say this movie is not worth fucking watching. Like, this movie's awesome as fuck. So check it out.
Yeah. And I understand what everybody's saying about the third act, but it just, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm here for it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a problem, but it doesn't matter. The movie's still so fucking good. It don't
You can
matter.
have a problem, Travis, but it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Ricky?
Oh, is it my turn? Engaging. 1. I was engaged both times. I love this. Hell yeah. Sticky. I'm going to remember this. This was so fun. The fun movie I've seen this year. That's a 1. T-shirtable, I'm going to give a 0.5 because I love the poster art. Maybe if you just darkened it up a little more around the edges, it'd make a sick T-shirt. Or fuck it, you could just throw a tie-dye print on it too. Why not? Cockles. I'll give it a 0.5. I'll give Cockles a 0.5. Did it for me, then they didn't do it for me.
And then they did.
And then they didn't. You know what? No, fuck it. It's going to get a 0.75.
Yeah.
0.75 on the cockles. And rewatchable is where I'll give it a 0.5 because I could see this being fun to rewatch with people who haven't seen it. But it's not something that I'm going to be going to, go to rewatch every year or any kind of shit like that. So what's that put me at?
375.
That's where I'm keeping her.
Perfect. All right. I think, we had the whole Ross might have an internet thing. I think he's gone. Thanks for joining us, Ross.
Yeah.
Come back, Ross. We need you.
Come back to us, Ross. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do the Mothra thing, right? To get him to come back.
Let's all sing for fucking 6 minutes.
Yeah, and then flap.
Yeah.
All right, Lowlifes. Let's see what the club had to say about Lowlifes. I think we got one. We got Evan, our witchery brethren, joining in. He says, engaging, 0.75. I watched it twice. Luckily, I think I saw all I was going to get out of it. Sticky, 0.25. Not much is really sticking to me other than the dad's big-ass glasses. T-shirtable, 0.75. There could be some interesting T-shirts made, but I'd wear one with the puking candy bar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Cockles, 0.5. I had some feelings in it. I really thought the daughter was going to change, but alas, we know she didn't.
Yeah.
I think she's forced to. It's like she can't get out of her family.
I would like
it's
to
definitely
talk
the
about
logical out.
I would love to talk about that whole dynamic.
Yeah, it's what would really happen.
Because, man...
Not the fantasy that...
not that any of this would really happen.
Not the fantasy that it sets you up for, though. You know what I mean? Sets you up for the romance.
Part of my cockles is the music and the dialogue during their scenes. Yeah, I love it. Rewatchable, 0.75. I watched it twice, but only because I felt I missed something. That's 3 fingers in the grave. I feel it's a little too high, but it is what it is. Midnight showing, somehow, some way, I'll be throwing sledgehammers and candy bars.
At the midnight showing, I'm throwing eyeballs in plastic in airtight Ziploc bags at the screen. That's what I'm throwing at the goddamn midnight feature.
I'm throwing spaghetti.
I'm throwing.
Can we talk for a second though about that third finale, like the third finale? Wow, there's only one. The third act. That I was disappointed, like how we were saying, like you expect the movie to go a certain way and then it doesn't, and it keeps subverting expectation, that's why I was still on board the whole time, but the movie never did what I wanted it to do. And I'm not mad about that. I'm just like, this is where it took me for that roller coaster ride of like, I thought the lesbian daughter was going to turn and be with her new girlfriend. And then I thought the deputy might come and save the day, but no. The movie doesn't give you none of that. You just have to deal with the raw. Like you have to deal with the raw. Like the movie is going to do what it's going to do. And it does it so brilliantly and excellently. And I don't know. I had to get that out, I guess. Like I thought it was going to go a certain way and it didn't. And that didn't disappoint me 100%. It did a little bit.
Maybe a bit on the bleaker side, would you say?
Definitely.
Oh, this is
definitely the
for such a light-toned movie, the ending leaves you a little hopeless.
As we all know, the nightclub is faux bleak and false cult. So
no, but it's true what you're saying. The tone is just a little different.
Yeah, I wish it would have been
I
a
like
little
it
bit,
and I don't at the same time. What can I say? What can I say over here?
If that had been a little bit more superheroes.
Brian, what's the overall score for this one, and how does it compare to other movies?
3.7, which is pretty good. I mean, there's a bunch of 3.7s right now.
I'm carrying this one. Night
of the Demon, Tokyo Gore Police, Final Destination, The Editor, Jason X. Those are all 3.7s.
It's good company.
Right below it at 3.6 sits Mother. Right above it at 3.8. There's a lot of 3.8s, but Phantasm. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Blair Witch Project. There you go.
No. Well, all right.
Yeah,
fine. But no.
What?
What is no?
I don't.
You don't think Phantasm's better
I think
than
Phantasm is better than this. I think Blair Witch is better than this. I think Mother is better than this. Yeah.
I agree with all those statements.
Mother was the only one that came in lower than this.
Yeah, Mother was the only lower one.
Oh,
wait.
All those other ones.
I misheard everything then.
I thought all that was below it.
Yeah, me too. I did too.
Only Mother was below it. And then it was matching her higher.
That's also a mistake.
I agree. I think Mother's
Mr. Mistakeles.
Well, it's my score that why this is higher. If I had come in around those guys, it would be lower than Mother.
How about I come in at a 10 out of 10, Sam? Does that help?
Your scores don't affect ours.
I don't care.
Oh, no.
And I kind of had the idea. I knew coming into this that I was going to be higher on it than everybody else.
I'm right there
That's
with
cool.
you, though, bro.
I
Like
love
9 out of 10 is close to a 10 out of 10. I mean,
hey, dude,
this
is
movie
a
has
great
the
movie.
room to grow.
I like this movie
On the
more
nightclub
than
scale?
any 2023 movie.
On my nightclub scale, this movie's very close to a 10.
Yeah,
You know,
same.
so-
It's right there.
And it's
Oh,
a
if it's
cocktail
a
thing.
night-
It really just does
My
something.
nightclub
to
score
my
is a 10.
cocktails.
It's just an engaging movie.
Boom! Brian
Yeah.
said it. Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, that's the nightclub score. There you
Yeah, dude.
All right, well, let's go ahead and
Gotta have
wrap
it.
this up.
Gotta have it.
That does it for the Chuddle Movie Club meeting. Follow Chuddle the Pod on Instagram, Slasher, Threads, Facebook. To stay up to date with the podcast, you can follow at Ross Purvis on Instagram. If you want to see his tattoos, you should also check out primrosetattooparlor.com. That is where Ross works. And so if you want to get tattooed by him, you can find him that way. If you're in the Central Florida area, follow me, Chuddle the Sam, Brian Chuddle the Brian with a Y on Letterboxd if you want to see what we've been watching and rating and whatnot. And jump in our Discord if you want to be part of the Chuddle community. Just to make it easy for all of that, there's a link in the show description. And of course, we have to thank Rickle Bickle and T-Boo Bickle of the Nightclub podcast for joining us tonight. Thanks for coming on,
y'all
guys.
for having us.
Plug your stuff one more time before we go.
We're everywhere, the same places. Instagram, fucking Slasher. We're also on TikTok, which we're about to take over TikTok, motherfuckers.
We're about to poop on it.
We're about to fucking.
They're going to take it over and they're going to
We're
shut
We're
it
going to
down.
poop on it and get banned.
We're gonna get banned on
Come
TikTok.
join us on
'cause
this
They
journey.
can't handle nightclub on TikTok.
Watch it. Come
But,
watch it burn.
But also, we have a fourth wall, which is like Patreon, but it's different, but it's the same thing. You could join that. And I just want to thank the Chuddle the Pod, my boys, Brian, Ross, and Sam. Like, y'all, I love you
Love
guys. And
Love y'all.
like doing this whole podcast experience, like whatever we're doing, whatever this is, would not be the same if we didn't know you guys. And I cannot
100%.
wait to meet y'all in person at a goddamn con. That's gonna be the best of all times.
Yeah, bro.
So
Oh my God, that's going to be so
hell,
much
Chuddle
fun.
the Pod.
Fuck yeah.
Whoa!
Listen to the Nightclub podcast.
I heard you shout us out. Shout us out.
Elzago.
Hell's
Hell's
Elzago.
Elzago.
Elzago, yeah!
And until next time, avoid the time loop.